streaming now.
For everybody listening, we will have technical difficulties. I'm going to try to get the chat up and running. Restream.io.
I don't see it, Kevin.
What?
I usually get the notification. Oh, here it is. Kevin Deschler is live now.
For everybody listening.
There it is.
God, I sound sexy.
So share.
I sound like the Simpsons, Marge's sisters.
Going live.
You remember them, the smoker ones?
Yep.
Hey, Bart.
Alright. So I shared it. But I gotta share it to the page.
All right. We're live everywhere. Now let me get the chat on.
You know what? I think I have to share it on here.
We got 5 viewers.
Really?
Yeah.
That's probably us.
Stick around. No, I'm not watching it. We got 6 now.
Alright, you guys, we're going to be going live here soon.
Yeah, don't quit on us. Be a trooper. You ain't doing nothing else. You're self-quarantined. If you know what's good for you.
I'm just thinking there's going to be so many babies born. And like, no.
Not at my house.
I mean, not at our house either, but.
If there's... Listen. I'm jumping off the roof. Oh, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine.
How many do you have?
2, and that's enough.
We got 3.
Shoo.
If you ever want to know what it's like to have a third child, just pretend you're drowning, and then somebody hands you a baby.
Yes. That's 100%.
It chops your hands off.
Yeah.
Swimming figure 8s with your feet. Are you able to share it?
I spelled contagious.
It doesn't matter. Make it as close as you can get it.
We
Nobody can even read from that listens to this anyways.
Tagious. I think.
9
Our
people
child
listening.
just messaged and was like, "Are y'all gonna be on a podcast?"
Yeah, we're
I
like,
was
cool.
Yeah.
It says
Yeah.
I can't share it to
Why?
the OG show. I don't know. I did last week.
What in the world?
Just let me share it everywhere.
I just shared it.
Let me see something real quick.
Oh well. Alright, just have all our friends share this thing around as much as possible. And
So now it's public.
well,
If you're sharing my feed.
well, now I can't find it.
I cooked a 2.5 pound steak today.
Jesus.
Yeah, look at it.
Look at that piece of meat.
Look at that. It was so good. My gout is going to be a disaster.
I yelled at one of our friends yesterday because he got a steak medium well. And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
can't.
I saw a thing that says, Dad, what temperature do we cook to? Medium. What if somebody wants it well done? Ask them to leave.
Was that on King of the Hill?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're on. Kevin, can you manage comments and everything like that?
Yes.
Alright. I will try to drive the ship show.
Scott, you better not talk crap to us. No video, Scott said. Well, of course there's no video.
No video. It's just a picture of our logo, Scott.
Scott.
All right. We are back in studio after a convention where we were infected with the coronavirus.
Oh, big
And
shout out goes to the guy that defriended me on Facebook. My good friend, Mr. Ron Taylor. I
Ron
think
Taylor.
he refriended me, by the way. So,
We'll
to
talk about Ron shortly.
I say you are ground zero for the coronavirus.
Yeah, we have a good story about that. All right, so we have special guests in studio. We have Cody and Lacy Leland. These are the owners, the founders of American Regardless. American Regardless has been huge supporters of the show since day one. I can call it day 1.5 when Kevin and I started just us. You're fucking ridiculous. This is Kevin. Kevin's.
Hey, Hey,
worried about infection.
It's never too safe around here.
That's ridiculous. The only thing that's missing is condoms, but he doesn't have sex.
Yeah, like them finger ones, like individually.
So, American Regardless has been huge supporters of the show. They sent us a whole bunch of cool stuff. They happen to be in town for Bike Week and wanted to stop by the studio. So they stopped by. They brought some gear for us to give away to a few of you lucky shitheads out there.
But I took it all.
But Kevin took it all, literally all of it sewn together to make one shirt.
Oh, you asked.
We got to figure out how we're going to give this stuff away. So we'll figure that out here shortly. But welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Good to be here.
Yeah, the studio's different than what it looks like on
It is.
the old television, huh?
Oh yeah, it looks much better in person.
Much less professional in person.
No.
And it smells great.
Not at all. No.
It does not smell funky in here.
So
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's 'cause
Not
you're here.
yet.
we'll try. I sprayed it down before you guys came in. I sprayed everything down with Lysol, wiped it down with wipes, topped it off with my orange fart spray.
Did you know about the orange fart spray?
Did not.
That
Is it
stuff
the
is-
potpourri? Is it that
It's
it?
like no.
I see those in people's
no.
bathrooms all the time.
It burns.
Kevin, can you grab it? Yeah. It's like citrus oils, basically. Like it's that potent. You can't spray it directly on the carpet. I think it will like dissolve the glue. Yeah, it's serious. This thing.
It's the only thing we found to cover up his shit.
It's flammable for sure. I mean, you have to like flush your eyes out and call poison control, kind of a thing. Like it's bad. This little thing. Watch you get a little spray here.
Don't do it.
Whole room's gonna smell like oranges here shortly. It's amazing. We found that it covers fart spray or covers human
Oh, we
spray.
needed that yesterday because walking down is like lofting in your face.
Oh,
like
oh,
walking
Bike
behind
Week?
Bike Week.
Daytona smells a little.
Like,
You know that makes me think I'm smelling a fart because you sprayed it so much. Like my brain just thought fart.
It's like, is this,
Fart.
I'm just breathing this all
It's like
in.
Pavlov's dog, but mine's that spray.
Well, before we get into serious and then not serious topics, we do have a tradition here. First-time guests have to drink one of these deceiving alcohols that we have
Smell
here.
them first.
Yes.
Because you're going to think you're in for a treat.
Right. So, Cody, if you don't mind, can you start with the gin?
Oh, I hate gin. It tastes like
Me
pine
too.
tree.
Gin's
and
terrible.
I'll drink it with you if you want. Like, it's
It might be a pull.
just be glad it's not the burgundy.
All right, smell. It doesn't smell terrible, does it? I can tell you it tastes like shit.
Makes me more comfortable doing this.
Ew, don't drink it out of the bottle.
Now you got to
Now
like
you have coronavirus.
Great, we all have Corona.
No.
So, smell the Kettle One there. This is even more deceiving, that Kettle One.
Oh, this is Tan's gin. I've
Yeah.
served this at the bar.
your own shot glass you brought us.
Look,
There you go.
there you go.
Now they're gonna have to like pour Clorox.
It makes your lips numb.
That, does it not taste like there's perfume in there? That's like, it's like they gave the smell by spraying
I find
perfume.
that one to be worse.
I don't even smell anything in this. I think it smells like water.
See, this one smells really good.
It smells delicious.
But it's not.
It's not.
How is it the botanicals?
He likes it.
Honestly, I'm not that bad. It's all right.
Did you try some?
No, not yet.
Here you
There's,
go.
there's always
You
that
ready?
one
I'll
person.
drink after him.
It's fine.
We contaminated each other. I don't want the gin. I don't want the gin.
They're both gin.
I've drank
Are they
alcohol.
Well, no, one's vodka.
Korea
This is
and
vodka.
Africa,
It is?
so-
Okay.
Yeah, I don't do gin. It tastes like pine trees. I'm like, no, thank you.
I
I
think it
feel
tastes like rotten oranges.
Gin is for alcoholics.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like it. I don't know.
I get a little orange peel, maybe.
In that, is there a peach in there?
Yeah,
Peach
it
and
smells like
orange
peaches.
blossom. It smells like peaches, but it's kind of orange.
Peach is a very deceiving flavor because it smells really strong.
It's very artificial peach.
Right?
How
It
are they
tastes like
not
shit.
disgusted by it?
Well, I really thought this was going to be kind of more like, what is that, bamboozle with the jelly beans?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
So
we
we
just...
I mean, those, like I said, I've drank alcohol in both
I'll trust
Korea
you on the
and
gin.
Africa.
I don't care
so
how expensive the gin is. It tastes
as long
like
as
shit.
it comes
It's
from-
gross.
It's
I'm not a
terrible.
huge fan. So, Kevin, what was the other thing that we had?
So I looked far and wide for this is getting too much. I looked
can't
far.
breathe.
Yeah, I looked far and wide for. It's called Great Odin's Raven.
Never heard of her.
Okay, well you've definitely seen the Ron Burgundy movie. that remember he goes, "Great Odin's Raven." Well, he made his own scotch. You know, I go scotch.
I love
Like,
scotch.
yeah. So it's like, it's his scotch. It even has his sayings on it. And so I looked for it online because I heard about it. I'm like, we have to have this. Like, this is a must. And I look it up, and there's one place that has it in Florida. And when I get there, there's dust all over the bottle. It had sat there forever because it's so bad. So we bring it back, and we're all excited to try it because that's like our favorite movie at the time, all four of us. And all four of us almost threw up. It literally tastes like if you wore a leather belt and sweated on it for a year and a half and then ate it.
Ugh.
That's exactly what it tastes like.
For the smell, when you first smell it, you're like, leather. And then you taste it, and you're like, leather. It's leather.
Everybody drank it and hated it. Like, we
very
had
interesting.
gags. We had everything. And then my cousin, Abby, obviously a girl, drinks. She's like, I like it. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
So has anybody else liked either one of these?
No.
No.
Oh, so
I don't like it. It's not. I mean, if I had to drink it, I totally would.
I could, yeah.
So gin is one of those things. If I had to take a shot of gin, I get kind of angry. Not like it turns me into the Hulk,
Yeah.
but I don't like gin.
Yeah.
Just like I don't like gold tequila. If someone
Or
gives
white
me a
That's what I am. I like clear tequila.
if someone gives me a shot of like warm gold tequila, I'm very angry. Not from the tequila. Like I'm angry without even drinking it. I'm pissed off.
I'm good.
It's one of those things,
I'm
man.
not allowed to drink tequila.
No.
No?
Apparently, I become very angry.
I don't get angry
Yeah?
off that.
Oh,
Rum,
yeah.
rum. I'm not allowed to drink rum around the wife because we might have a third child.
Really? Rum's the thing?
Yeah. Not
Yeah?
for her. Otherwise, I would
He's like,
mix
"For
it in
me."
her drinks. For me. Like, I'm going to try to do whatever I can.
That's
Like,
very
there's
interesting.
something- It's weird. I don't know.
Turns you into Rico Suave.
Yeah, without the suave.
Obviously, she doesn't think so.
No.
yeah.
No.
We were in the Dominican and we had they were called Mexican margaritas or
Pickled Mexicans.
pickled Mexicans.
Pickled
We
Mexicans.
started taking pickled Mexicans. So shot of tequila, shot of pickle juice. And he's like slamming them back, and we had to be dinner. We were
'Cause
like,
you
we're
don't
doing
taste the
dinner at
tequila.
6. We're good.
Oh God.
The next thing I know, I'm like carrying him back to the hotel room. He's like talking shit the whole way. We get up there. He like strips down, lays down in the bed. I'm like, we have dinner in 2 hours. You need to get your shit together. And he's like, you don't know shit about me. You just want to be like all these people. I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about? We're in one room with each other.
It was that bad?
It was that bad.
That is awesome.
And I woke his ass up at 5 and we went
I
to
didn't
dinner.
think it was that bad, but I also don't remember it. So
That is
there's
awesome.
that.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, one of
tequila's
you was having a good time.
Yeah.
That's
He
all
was
that
so mad
matters.
at me for something I have no idea what we're talking about.
tequila can be that way.
See, I'm the opposite. Everybody's like, tequila makes me so angry. I'm like, no, tequila is my drink. I will pour it all day. I'm the happiest person. You'll probably get more out of me when I'm on tequila than anything else.
I think I've never told this story. I've told it to you, but never on this show. But the worst drunk story of my life, I went out drinking with my wife, and I used to live in this like 2-room condo because I was a bachelor and whatever. And so she comes over. Now, this condo was built in the 80s. It is not new. It's not nasty, but it's old. And the doorknobs are that old. So I come in. I immediately walk to the couch, pass out. She goes into the bathroom. I wake up to this. Boom! Boom! I'm like, what is going on? Like, I don't know what's going on. And so I'm coming to, and she is kicking a hole through my door from the inside of the bathroom out. The doorknob had broke when she locked it, and she couldn't get out.
Oh,
and she
no.
called me like no shit like 80 times, trying to get me to wake up, but I was passed out drunk. And so she's kicking through the door, like kicking through it. And so I'm sitting there yelling, stop, stop. But she's pissed off, and I would be too.
Yeah.
And so she's got her foot like starting to go through the door. Like there's a hole like down through the bottom because they're the hollow doors. And I look through the hole and I see her, and she's pinned up against the tub, right? Like full force, 2 foot kicking that door as hard as she can. And I go, stop for a second. And she gives one more good kick because it made her madder because she saw me. You know, because it's like, there's that idiot. And so she kicks it in a piece, and I'm not lying. And I have the scar to prove it. A piece of the door flings off and stabs me right in the chest. Like a good splinter. Like a big one. Like, you know, like a shard. And I'm like, get away from the door. So now I'm like all mad. And so I look through the door and I see her back up like near the tub. And I freaking just hammer punch that sucker and knock it wide open. She walks right past me, goes in the room and goes to bed. And is like, going to murder me if I say a word.
Yeah.
Here's the kicker. The next day I wake up, and I'm thinking everything's going to be okay. I go out to make breakfast. I hear, boom, boom. The other door broke. The next morning, she was stuck in my other bathroom, just as a
Oh
fluke.
my god.
So I run in because I know immediately what it is this time. And I'm like, don't break the door. So I took the 2 screws out and got her out of there. But yeah, the next day we're like putting the door in, and my stepson comes in and he's like, what happened to the door? I'm like, I don't know, man. It just it broke. I have no idea.
Don't worry about it.
So is this before you were married?
Yes.
So I wonder if she was thinking you were like kidnapping her and
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, when
You were
you're dating, yeah.
you were becoming the puts the lotion on its skin.
Could you imagine though? I mean, seriously, stuck in my crappy condo.
Oh, I'd be freaking out.
Now, granted, she knew me a long time, so she knew I wasn't gonna skin her.
Okay, well,
But
that's better.
But seriously, think about it, being stuck in this bathroom of all places, and you're calling your idiot boyfriend at the time, and he won't answer, and I'm out there probably sawing logs, so she'd probably hear me through the wall.
Yeah.
Because I snore loud. And I guarantee she wanted to kill me. If she got out of there on her own,
Understandably.
she'd have stabbed me with that piece.
It actually made me started thinking real quick though. Things that are acceptable as a married couple that are just not when you're dating, like shitting with the door open. Like if you just started dating somebody and you're shitting with the door open. No.
No, I've never even. I don't even know when my wife does. Like she hides.
That's another thing.
Do you?
I mean, I know it's usually he's asleep or not home.
Yeah, it's usually.
It's not even like I'm trying to, but it's just how it works out.
There's the other thing too is like the not answering text. When you're dating, you get the text and you're like, well, I don't want to answer right away. So let me answer shortly, but I'm going to answer. I'm going to answer her soon. Now you see the text and you're like, how long can I go before she gets really pissed off
Yeah,
at me?
that's true.
Well, now we're screwed though, because as soon as you read it, it shows red.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't have that turned on your phone, then you're questioned. Like, why don't you have that turned on?
Yeah.
Why can't I see when you read?
yeah,
my text messages?
exactly.
That's when you just put something in the little thing, so it sits there and does the
Dot, dot, dot.
for an hour and a half.
So we do it on Messenger. So he'll be like doing something, and I message him, he won't answer me back, and I'm like, why are you not answering me? Are you okay? Is something wrong? Have you died?
I could see that you were online
Do
3
I-
minutes ago.
Exactly. I'm like, do I need to call the life insurance people?
Mine would be like, "Are you dead?" Fingers crossed.
I hope
if
to
you're
God.
dead, please let it be an accident because we get more money then.
It's his wife. I was like, hey, is Kevin all right? Yep. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I go over there to get packages. I'm like, what happened? I haven't heard from Kevin all day. That's because he's been in my ear all day. And I'm like, oh, well, what happened? She's like, I don't know. I blocked him.
Oh. Have we talked about that on the show? I don't think we have.
We have. She'll
Shit.
block him. She gets mad at him and just blocks
Nothing
him.
makes me madder. I want you to fight with me. If I'm mad, I want to fight. Like, I want to have it out, and I want to get it out. And she knows that, and she's not the fighting type. But she figured it out over time. My best friend told her, which is bullshit. So he's
You're gonna
like,
do best
just
friend.
just ignore him. It'll piss him off, and then 2 days later, he won't even remember it because that's how I am. So she'll go, but here's what kills me. We'll be fighting, and then she'll put in like the meanest one-liner, and it's like, and I blocked you, and it's like, now I can't even retort.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah,
I think it's
and
hilarious.
all my friends think it's great. Do you do this too?
No, you said retort, and me and Cody had a huge fight over the word rhetorical, and I told him he was stupid because he didn't know what the word meant.
Rhetorical's repetitive.
I said, don't even. I was like, you can't even use the word because you're retorted.
Retorted.
And we died forever because I took a class. Well, I took anatomy, and we did prefixes and suffixes. So I know a lot of words because I went to this whole
I know the
stupid
words.
ass class. So I know the words and I know a lot of words. Cody, not so much. And there's a lot of times he's like, I don't know what that word means. Don't make me look stupid.
That's fair.
But it's the truth. I mean,
He is me and Jeff Murray. Jeff looks at me and goes, "What's that word again?" And I tell him, he goes, "Yeah, that one."
Yeah, that one.
yep.
What does can we say what Jeff says? The thing that cracks me up all the time.
What, dresses?
No. About the size thing.
Oh yeah, he don't care.
So what does he say though?
He used to go up. Now let me preface this in case Allison's listening. He's married now. He does not do this anymore. This was 10 years ago. well, maybe not quite that long, but like 5 years ago, he used to go up in the middle of like a bar or wherever no, it was 10 years ago. Shit. We'd be at a bar or whatever, and he would go up to just some random girl and go, "Hey, girl." God, I can't even do it. He'd go, "It ain't long, but it's thin." And then they would sit there and be like, "What?" And he'd be like, "Yeah." And just look at him. And you talk about an icebreaker, like every girl wanted to say hi after that.
Yeah.
Like they've never heard that one, I assure you.
So you're telling me it's not long or thick?
I don't want.
Like, what?
I want both of those.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know why we're.
What are we supposed to do with
Okay.
this?
That was
Oh,
dude.
man.
That and his dresses, because he's from Long Island, bro. That's how he talks.
Oh my god.
And so he'll go. One day he was moving. He was talking to me and my wife, and he goes, "Yeah, I need your help moving the dresses." And I go, "Why do you need my help?" And he goes, "'Cause it's heavy, bro." And I go, I look at my wife and I go, "What's he saying?" And she's like, "What do you need help moving dresses for?" And like, because she's saying dresses and he's used to that, he's like, "Because it's heavy." And we're like, I go, "Jeff, how are dresses heavy?" And he's like, "Bro, like the wood?" And I'm like, I'm like, "You mean dressers?" And he goes, "Yeah, dresses." I go, "No, dressers." He goes, "Dresses." And I'm like, okay, so now we got to figure it out. And to this day, he's still, we were moving it the other day. Grab the dresses.
Grab the dresses.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So, can you see how many? Are you able to see how many people are watching? Because I think
3.
All right.
I'm joking.
So here's the deal.
I actually don't know.
We
Yeah.
brought in. I'll put the camera on me so I can show off the goods. We brought in some goods from American Regardless. They went to Bike Week, right? So you guys were at Bike Week. They did not set up a booth, but they brought some stuff down, obviously, and it worked because I just bought a bunch of stuff. So check out these hats. I think these are awesome. If you got it.
And they're really great if you have like Velcro like patches and
Yeah.
patches because those things come off.
Yeah, so it's the removable Velcro patch says USA underneath, which I think is freaking awesome. Do you ever look at things like in
Yes.
reverse and go the wrong way?
Yes.
All the
Like I
time.
try to cut my hair sometimes. Like I don't need to go to the barber to just trim behind my
Right.
ear. But I'm wondering why the razor's out here and I'm going further away from my ear. I can't do
Whenever
it.
you got those 3 mirror things and you turn them both
Yes.
in.
Oh, it's the worst.
You're looking
Yes.
like,
It's the worst.
"Oh, no,
So
this isn't right."
the hair right on my neck grows quick, so I try to do like a little edging. And there's so many times where I'm like trying to line up the razor and I'm like sideways and I'm like, how is it not going straight? But then this is another hat, very similar. I
have terrible
like this
depth
one.
Perception. Like
Depth perception,
I
yeah,
can't.
perception.
And especially when I'm like, can this fit there? Like I want to move something. And my
Yeah,
husband's
go for
like,
it.
No.
I so wanted to say.
So
That's what she said.
check this out. This hat should say Trump somewhere on it. I really feel like it should. There should be Trump riding that eagle.
Is
Our-
that
down there.
trademark, by the way? Can
amazing-
you just use Trump on anything? Is that cool or?
I mean, it's a word.
I don't think that he's ever gonna mind.
No, are you kidding me? If it inflates his ego, he's already signed off on it.
He's good to go.
So, and then these hats. What do you call these on the site? Which hat is this? Does it have like a style name?
That one's actually not on our website.
It's not on the website. Okay, so look, this is an exclusive.
Yeah, it's
That one's
exclusive.
going to be
is an
$78,
exclusive.
And by
and
the
it comes
way-
with one roll of toilet paper.
Our hats are made hand by our embroiderer. Like we
I hope
know
y'all
him
are getting
personally.
toilet paper. We
So-
can't find
It's
any.
actually Cody's dad.
Why don't you tell people that? Switch it over to you. Tell us
So
about that.
our embroidery is done by Cody's dad. Each one is hand done by all of him, and exactly all of our shirts are too. All of our shirts are done by us. We don't like order them off some website and they send them to us. Like we hand do every single ink. So
So
They're
we
not from China.
they're
We've
not from
sent some of
China,
these-
American made.
The majority of our T-shirts are sewn here, grown here, everything, and then we design them and print them ourselves. So it's not, a lot of these newer companies coming up, they pay some other screen printers to do all their stuff, and then they just inventory it and sell it like that. But
I want to show
we
them
actually do it
something.
all.
So, this is why I don't wear hats.
don't stretch it out. No one's gonna want that.
I won't, but look at that.
I mean, I think you look great.
Her dad has that issue too, though. Her dad's got a big jug too.
My
so.
dad has a huge head.
So
There's
there-
never been a hat. My wife, I
Yep.
used to wear hat. I love hats too. And I wore a hat one time. My wife goes, "No, never again."
Well, there's
she's
a
like-
sunglass company that sent us some shades. Gooder. Have you ever heard of Gooder?
They sent us the fathead
They,
ones.
they make shades that a lot of runners use because they're affordable, they're lightweight, they don't slip,
Right.
and they have a BFG. It doesn't stand for anything, but it
BFH.
makes the BFG.
Ah,
It
sorry, hit
it
my
makes the heads go because they'll say that it's for people with big pumpkin-sized heads,
Right.
right? So you're like big fucking noggin, like so it makes you think that that's what it means.
Right.
But yeah,
They still didn't fit me.
they look like regular sunglasses on him.
So
Yeah.
my dad told me a story about they went to it's like a convention or somewhere and they had this like really great motorcycle. And the guy's like, "Come on, man, buy this." He said, "How about this? I'll make you a deal. You find me a helmet to fit my head, and I'll buy that bike right now. But if you can't find a helmet, you have to give me the bike." And the guy's like, "Oh,
Oh,
all right,
man.
fine, cool." They walks around that whole place, going to all his friends, do helmets, can't find a damn one to fit him. And he's like, "Oh man, I wasn't serious. I wasn't serious."
Yeah.
But my dad always had like a huge head, and he's in like the VFW and the AMVETS in
American
there,
Legion.
and he's about to be the commander there. So they have those like hats, but
Oh,
it doesn't
God.
fit him. It's like way too small.
That's why when I was a catcher, they had to find me a special helmet, like to fit my
I'm
head.
sure you wore special helmets.
I did.
Yeah, the regular the helmet
I
to
actually
go over
walked
the
into
padded
it.
helmet.
No shit though. When I was a kid, I had to wear feet braces because my feet stuck out like a
Oh,
duck.
really?
Oh yeah, so I'm alright. If I had a helmet to go with it,
I'm so glad I'm
it'd have
hearing
been
this.
perfect. You didn't know that?
I did not know that. This
Oh,
is
there's so
fucking
many pictures.
amazing.
I gotta get Tyler to send them.
So many people.
OG
Yeah, well, because I was born with
exclusive
my
here.
feet would duck out, and so they put braces on them to duck them in. And when you're young enough, they'll grow right. if
Oh,
I do
man.
that. So like now they're fine. But
So it's
I was
like
a
when
baby,
they
Forrest Gump.
wrap up the
Yeah.
Chinese chicks' feet.
yeah make them like
Maybe
I
funny.
think they break their feet and then wrap
they
them.
do. Them things
See,
are
I need
nasty
somebody to do
looking.
that to me because I have
Yeah.
a whole
They
big
break
lady
their feet, they wrap them, then they shit in public and give us all corona.
Here we are.
Here
Would
we are.
you-
Here we are.
Here's a question: would you lick one of them ladies' bare feet after she walked through the streets of Wuhan for $1,000?
First off, is Wuhan not the birthplace of Kung Fu?
It's the
I don't
birthplace
know.
of Corona.
I know it's the birthplace of Corona, but I just
That's what I
remember
know.
hearing that in Chinese movies, but maybe the cities sound the same. However, Kevin and I talked about this. I don't know if you guys agree or not. So let's just say we didn't have kids because you start thinking about kids and all you want to do is keep them safe. You don't care, whatever, right? But if you had no kids, it's just the two of you, would you not, hearing that young people really aren't affected too much by this, I would just go lick the first person that has it and then travel the world for the next couple of months with no weights for anything.
Yeah, because
I
you already
mean,
got through it.
I don't know if I would lick somebody with it, but I think that like I've
Spit
been
in your
sick
mouth a little bit.
I mean, I think I've been sick enough that like if I get it on my travels, I'll just push through. You know.
Yeah.
But like I've seen how low ticket prices are right now. I'm like, damn.
I mean, you go to Jamaica for two people for like $1,000 and,
Not no
and
more.
3 nights. No?
No, you ain't going nowhere.
Oh, yeah, you
now.
can't
I
leave
mean, now
now.
it's banned, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
they-
now we're trapped.
By
But
the
here we
way,
are.
I saw my buddies from, I have to credit my Schmark Schmeyers for this one. He sent, good God, I don't know the password for my own phone because it doesn't know my face. This is the best meme ever. Mexico wants to close its border to stop the spread of coronavirus. And then there's a picture of, what's his name from Jurassic Park? Ian Malcolm.
Yeah.
And it says, "You did it, you crazy son of a bitch, you did."
Checkmate.
So my buddy writes back, he goes, "Fuck, that's playing the long con." So
That is so
I
funny.
find that hilarious. Look, you have to have humor in times
Yeah.
like this. Otherwise, it's just depression all around.
Yeah.
The best going around though is the third day without sports.
Oh, yeah.
I found my wife. She seems
I
nice.
just
Yeah,
What was the one about her color? Her favorite color?
it's yellow. Who the fuck likes yellow?
Yeah, this guy posted. He goes, 2 days, no sports. Just found out my wife's favorite color is yellow. Who the fuck likes yellow?
I heard a better one about that though, and I seriously started laughing. It almost got me in trouble too. So I read one and it said, I read my wife the other day the one about the yellow,
Yeah.
and then his wife goes, "What color's my favorite color?" And he went, "Well, this backfired." My wife's like, "What's my favorite color?" I'm like, "Orange." She's like, okay, it used to be. And I'm like, you can't change your favorite color.
I do. I've changed.
And then blame you for not knowing.
Yeah, so
it.
now I know it's teal and pink, but I told her she has to choose because my brain cannot
Oh,
remember
no, she's
both.
got two, black and sparkle.
Black and sparkle.
It's just
Sparkle, I didn't know. That's
Yes,
like
define
clear.
that, please.
Well, so if you go somewhere and they've got like, all right, let's say phone case, black phone case, white phone case, sparkly phone case. I'm not going to
Sparkle's
be like
winning.
sparkles. This is the color I want. It's sparkly. That's what I want.
So any color sparkly.
I mean, any color can be sparkly, but
Okay.
sparkly is its own self.
No. What is that, rhinestones? That's not a color.
You're gonna
It's
lose
like
the
Kevin
argument.
said, it's clear.
You're gonna lose.
Hey
Don't-
guys, my favorite color, clear. I love it.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
If I'm going to pick, it's going to be sparkle.
let's
Actually,
Black
it'll be
is
black.
also not a color, but neither
That's
here
what
nor
we-
there.
Oh,
the-
quick note. Speaking of weird shit, my daughter honestly thinks that unicorns are sold from a store on the moon.
Oh,
Are they not?
I'm going to say they probably are.
I mean that doesn't sound terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I can get on board with that.
But then I had
How
a
old is
thought.
she?
She's just turned 7.
Let her believe what she wants to.
Oh, I did. Of course I
Oh,
did.
yeah, okay.
Like, you're not like a dream catcher. Like, you know what? It ain't real.
No, but I did say, I said, what if, Camden, I said, what if, unicorns, how you think they look, they're actually like a mixture of two animals, like normal animal, like breeds. And I said, and it actually ends up that it's a rhino mixed with a horse. I'm like, and then it looks weird as shit. And you saw her brain start turning, and she's like,
like, well-
no, Dada.
No.
No.
Well, the
That's not how this
narwhal
works.
thing is what screwed up my kids,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then they were like, sea unicorns.
Yeah.
So yes, the narwhal is the
Like
unicorn of the
and
sea.
a dolphin had a baby.
Does anybody
yes.
know what that's for on a narwhal? Is it to like
To
bash
break the ice.
To break the
It's
ice,
to break the
yeah.
ice. How much does the polar bear weigh?
My kid
Not
watches
to break
my middle one
ice.
watches the National Geographic on Netflix. He loves that, and he loves that shit. He was watching one about the universe. He's like, "Did you know that the sun is really hot?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
sure did."
I have a nice joke.
Hey, no, listen. So Blake goes, my son comes home. No, I come home and Janet's like, why don't you tell Dad about ticks? Oh yeah, Dad, ticks can stick on you and then make your brain dead.
That's true.
That's a very big extreme.
But it's true. Lyme disease.
But I'm like, what?
Yeah, you went to one extreme, but I
So-
mean, we're definitely working with
Like, let's
facts.
skip all the things in between.
Yes.
They should.
Bite you, dead.
They should
Bite
work
you-
for CNN.
brain dead. Yeah, exactly. Just gets right to the point.
I
Right
saw
to the
a thing
worst
that
case
said We're
scenario.
getting on tick season now. It's going to be Corona and Lyme.
Oh, boom.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No, I have to tell you the joke because it's one of my favorites, and the ice made me think of it. Do you know how you hunt for bears in the winter?
I don't know how.
You cut a hole in the ice, right? And then you put peas around it because bears like peas, and when they come up to eat the peas, you kick them in the ice hole.
It's bad because my first question is like, well, how do you know they like peas? Did you ask?
I don't know. My grandfather
Somebody
told me
said,
that
like-
joke.
You can't tell her jokes because she goes too far into
You just
it.
got to assume the bear likes
You just
peas.
gotta take
You
the
just gotta
joke
assume it.
for
Because
what
I
it
don't
is.
like peas, so I don't think a bear would like peas.
She would love Mitch Hedberg.
Oh,
I do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hedberg?
Has she
Yeah.
heard Mitch Hedberg? Because that's like that
Have you ever
deeper
listened to him?
thinking.
No, but I'm a terrible parent, and I've introduced my 13-year-old to him.
Perfect.
He's so good, though.
He
He's
is
probably watching right now, by the way. Hey,
He's
go
old
to
enough
bed.
for Mitch.
Yeah,
Mitch
I mean,
isn't
he's-
sexual about stuff.
No. He's not too terrible. He's just
He's a stoner
he's always screwed up. I mean,
Yeah.
was always screwed
and
up.
dead now.
Yeah, but he was hilarious, man.
Oh.
It was all about the delivery.
Oh, we
Yeah,
did
oh,
this
for
in the
sure.
past.
You know.
Top 3 comedians of all time.
Oh God.
My first was Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, he's
My-
up there for me because that one-liner aspect that's a very hard thing to
It
do.
is, and I think he passed away so early too. I don't think a lot of people know who he is, which is tragic.
It's very tragic.
Because he's hilarious.
Apparently, Joe Rogan listens to him on his
Joe's
way
pretty
to do a
damn
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he says he gets rid of all the deep thinking
Right.
and just he likes the one-liners and it helps him catch his own rhythm.
Right.
Because Mitch was all about that delivery. Like, I mean, I can't do him any justice, but he describes things. So one of my favorite jokes is where he talks about going to his sister's house, and his sister always wanted to be a movie star. She got halfway there. She lives in a trailer. And then he goes,
But that's the like his jokes are like very
yeah,
short.
and then he goes, and
So
then he
it's
goes,
good.
and he's describing things. And he's like, and right above her fireplace, there's a picture of everybody looking slightly to the left, except for my sister's cross-eyed, so one eye is dead the fuck on.
He was so good.
That's like our 13-year-old man. He's on this kick about trying to tell everybody that joke about how I think my house can be as many bedrooms as I want it to be. Like, this room's got an oven in it.
Yeah, that was Mitch.
Yeah.
But he just goes around.
This
telling
one
that
has
joke all the
clothes
time.
hanging on it. Yeah.
He's going around telling that thing to everybody.
I have a 26-bedroom apartment. I love that guy. You got to hear him if you haven't heard him.
You really do. The Mitch is.
You looked him up one time.
We can listen to him on the way home.
Oh, for sure. You'll just crack up.
Yeah,
and
he's good, man.
It's like laughter per word. He's like the best comic ever because he doesn't. There's no long setup.
Yeah,
Right.
It's
very
like
short.
joke, laugh.
Yeah.
My favorite was one of his live shows. He goes, I always wanted to have a briefcase strapped to my wrist, and then he just stops and he goes, yeah. But he was just like, in his mind, he was like, I was going somewhere with that one, but
I
it
forgot
died.
where.
It
Yeah.
But
died
he's
real
so
quick.
high the whole time.
Well,
It's
that's
so
like
good.
he was like, I used to be a drug addict. I still am, but I used to too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
My friend asked me if I
Yeah,
wanted a
it's-
frozen banana. I said no, but
This
I
is
want a
gonna be an
regular banana later. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. This is going to be something that's going to crack Frank up. And I wish Frank was drunk right now because you'd have no idea what I'm talking about. But mythological baby.
Oh my god. Who was that?
That was our own homegrown Titusville Tosh 2.0.
So Daniel Tosh.
yeah.
So Daniel Tosh has this amazing joke where he's basically we're the two.
Have you ever heard his stand
Oh,
up?
the mythological baby about
Yeah.
Jesus with the abs? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
With Brad Pitt?
Yes.
Yes.
It doesn't make
And
it
he goes-
wiggle a little bit.
Yeah, he goes, if that doesn't make it wiggle a little bit, I don't know what does.
He's obviously found the rabbit hole, but I didn't.
Oh, yeah. It's so good.
Well, he goes,
It is the
he goes,
funniest
before
shit.
you guys get freaked out about me fucking a mythological baby.
Just know it's not real.
He's talking about if Brad Pitt and who was it? Was it Brad Pitt and
I forget who the other one was,
God,
too.
who was the other one?
Obviously not important.
Maybe David Beckham.
Yes,
Beckham.
it was David Beckham.
It was
If
Beckham.
David Beckham.
Now you know who her favorite man is.
No, so we'll get to that in a second.
So
I'll talk
if
about that one. 'Cause it's
Brad
stupid.
Pitt and David Beckham had a baby, it would be like the hottest baby in the world.
He goes, I'd fuck that baby.
And you fuck that baby too.
He goes, if the thought of those two men making a baby doesn't make it wiggle a little bit.
And all these people in the office are like, and they're like looking around, like not really laughing. He was like, "Don't get pissed off because I'm not fucking a mythological baby. That's
no.
never gonna happen."
No, he goes, well, the first thing he said I thought was funny. He goes, now the room is split because half the room like is laughing and
I
half isn't.
like Tosh Point.
Yeah. You know, he's
Honestly,
from
man,
Titusville.
Is he really?
Yeah,
He's from Titusville,
He
yeah.
graduated from astronaut.
I think this is the first time.
And our city council is so stupid. He wanted to donate money to the city to put Tosh.0 on our water tower, and they said no.
Well, yeah.
You gotta, it's the biggest, that's one of the biggest things to ever come out of this town.
Have you seen our water tower? It is a shit box.
It's actually just like a big rusty water tower.
yeah, like it would look way better with Tosh.0 on it.
We gotta paint it and then put Tosh.0.
It'd look better
It's like,
if
well,
you
we
drew
don't paint it
graffiti
first.
on it.
But I need to hear about this,
Who's her man?
yeah, who's,
Okay, so
My
he's
wife's is
so,
worse.
So unimportant, right? That I don't even remember his first name. He's James Franco's brother.
oh yeah,
Oh,
little
yeah.
Franco, baby
Little Franco,
Franco.
baby
I don't
Franco.
even know his name. I
looks
call him
like
baby Franco.
Looks like
I
a
don't even know his
douche.
name either. I think
He
his
does
name-
look like a
is it Charles?
douche.
Looks like a douche.
But what is it? Because he's not that
I
attractive.
don't know. So at least that's not bad. One of my friends, hers is Post Malone. I'm like, he looks fucking homeless.
Janet likes
Yeah.
Post Malone. I don't think she's attracted to
seems
Post
likable.
Malone, but
seems
she's
likable.
very
If we
into
were
him.
I mean,
friends,
I'm
but I
attracted
don't
to
think I
Post
would
Malone's
ever be
wallet.
Like, hey,
Oh,
I wanna have
100%.
you because you look like you're homeless, and this sounds like fun.
Post Malone's got a great voice too. I
I
don't know.
love Post Malone.
He's
He
like,
does-
I'd bang Post Malone. I
He
mean,
does look homeless.
He does.
he was recently in that movie, though.
It's
Oh,
good.
I do want to
I
see
watched
that.
What movie is that?
I watched it.
I wanna slap Justin
Spencer
Bieber, though.
something. It's on Netflix.
Spencer, I think it's like Spencer Confidential,
Yes,
maybe.
that's what it is.
Um,
Spencer Confidential.
It's a Netflix movie. Here's you got to give Netflix props. They will throw money at an opportunity. They really
Yeah,
are.
they will.
They're throwing money out there. It's got Marky Mark.
Yep.
Oh, I love Marky Mark.
It's got Marky
And he's
Mark.
built
He's
up
on my
in
list.
this one.
Yeah, so
He got big.
yeah,
again.
he's Marky Mark's in the top 50 guys I'd go gay for.
Yes.
there's 50.
Yeah, there's 50. There might be 600.
Holy
of it.
shit!
But You know who I really love? I love Jim from The Office.
Oh,
John
God,
Kay?
yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is so
Not
good.
in that way, but
And
he is a great actor.
I love him.
Period.
And I saw a thing the other day that had him and Dwight and Michael, and it was like beards are like the male push-up bra because they all had beards and they all look so fun.
Okay, I want
It is
I
true.
want
The
to talk
beard,
to you for
beard.
a second.
More
But the
alcohol.
funniest
Yeah.
part of The Office, because no
Okay,
one
because
talks
I'm
to me
an
about
Office
it,
We're gonna have to
chick.
switch
I
to
love
the
it.
to the botanical.
is the freaking faxes from the future to Dwight.
Yes, 110%.
Yes,
It's
I
like,
love
the
it.
coffee is going to be
100%?
poisoned.
Yeah.
100%.
Did she say 100%?
110%.
Yeah. Okay.
I love
I'm
I
gonna
Dwight.
pretend.
By the way,
Dwight
I
is one of
didn't
my
hear that.
favorites.
so I don't know if I didn't say to anybody. We're all wearing an American Regardless shirt.
Yes.
So I'm on you too. Tell us about those shirts real
See?
quick.
Check it out. Everybody loves a big Glock. I mean, you
Right.
could like a Springfield, but it's not as fun.
Yes. Can you
'Cause
tell
Glock
us story?
sounds
Because
like
that
cock.
cracks
That's
me
why
up.
It's funny.
Yeah, we've actually had a lot of. No, not a lot of. We've had some negative.
It's not like backlash.
I
it's
feel
just
like I feel like that we've got trolls now, so we've kind of.
Sure.
That means you made it.
Made it in a
I'm not
certain
gonna
way.
lie. The Glock is my least favorite handgun.
Yeah, and I'm not. I have
We
a
get
Glock.
that.
Right.
It's not. It's definitely not my favorite type of gun, but
But I don't think everybody loves a big sig.
right.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
as funny.
It
And
rhymes.
Let's just get it out there and tell everybody. Glock sounds like cock.
Of
right?
course.
So.
And that's like the lady came to me. She was like, "But I don't even like Glock." And I'm like, "Honey, it's not about the Glock.
It's not about the
It's
Glock.
about the penis." I'm like, it's not a big bag, girl. She's like, "Oh, I get it." I'm like,
She didn't get it.
Just
How
read
did
it.
No, there's a lot of people
Just
that didn't get it.
read
It
it.
didn't
was,
get it. They
you know,
thought that we were
pretty
really
sad.
like big Glock supporters, and I'm like, this is not like a. We had a guy like getting like a fight with us on Facebook, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
he did.
listen,
Send them to me.
hashtag all
Well-
gun lives matter. You can like whatever you
Anything
want to
you want.
like.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's fine.
Yeah,
But
she did. She hashtagged it
I
with
did.
all.
Oh God, but he's like, just don't worry about it. I'm like, no, it's funny.
It's-
I
it's
love
funny.
it.
You're more important than us. We don't get people like that because I would love to fight with them. It'd make
I
my
like
whole
being
day.
very like I don't know. I just
Well-
like being witty about it because it's funny.
The closest thing we get to a trolling confrontation is, aren't you the guy that said something on the internet that was completely inaccurate? And I'm like, yeah,
Probably.
of course.
Probably, yeah.
I can tell you the
CNN
100%.
ain't got
most-
shit. on
Most
my
likely
fake news.
offensive as well.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, CNN. You
Oh,
obviously
we
don't
said the
have to
most
tell
offensive
facts
shit
to-
last week and it didn't even air.
Didn't
we
even
did
air.
it on purpose.
Well, let's try to up it this week.
Well, it was really
You wanna
funny
do it?
because it was.
It's around the horn.
Fuck your feelings. I don't care.
Oh, we went around the horn of. Yeah, it was that who.
So here, yeah, we'll start it and go around. They should be a part of it.
I think I saved it, but it basically started with disclaimer: if you are blank, you're going to be offended, and it was just like if you are, and then it was
and then
just
you go
like,
around the horn.
Oh, I don't even have
It was like if you were Chinese, if you're black, if you're white, if you're
you're a
Asian,
human.
if you have a big dick, if you have a small dick,
If you have no dick,
if you're a Martian.
we went on forever.
It's, you know,
But
so
then Frank actually was racist, so
I didn't mean to. But listen, these damn Chinese really pissed me off with the coronavirus. And it bothers me because I started looking into where these diseases come from,
Right.
right? And the origin of them. And it comes from filth. How you get
well,
infected.
eating weird shit.
Well, okay. People are freaking out because they're like, oh, my pet could give me corona. And I'm like, yeah, if you fucking eat it. Like, that's a problem.
like don't lick its mouth.
No, they're eating.
Don't eat the meat.
The last time one of the SARS came out of China,
Right.
it was from. I think they called it dog, but I think they meant like eating a raccoon. They called it like a dog, raccoon dog, something like that. But in short, it was eating. It was eating like a street dog.
Oh, which is a delicacy in Asia.
But
Well, I don't know
Fuck.
about Asia. I know in Korea it's a delicacy.
in Korea they like, but see,
Absolutely,
I can
yeah,
see
no,
that. I can see that happening. You know, and it's like. Part of this whole thing, and I don't know how true it is, but one of the articles I read, which means it's not true at all, was saying that
His favorite site's The Onion for news.
I love the Onion.
Okay, that's
So no, this one was a little bit different. This was probably, I think this was one of the Post or the Time, the New York Times, but basically that this one most likely came from a rat. Or a bat. They can't pinpoint the exact, but they think it was from somebody in that wet market selling illegal meat. So like we were saying outside was illegal meat is probably not it's not packaged properly. It's not labeled properly.
it's illegal.
It's illegal,
It's
right?
it's like slinging cocaine around
It
the
came out of
streets.
your glove box on like 2 ice cubes.
Yeah, it's not gonna be.
Right. So the fact that it got contaminated, and could possibly have caused it, I mean, makes all the sense in the world. But it's like, just don't fucking do it.
Right.
I'm trying to look up James
It's
Franco's
so-
little brother. He's so unimportant, nobody gives a shit about him. We can't even find him.
He's so.
My point exactly.
I don't remember his
fine.
name. I just know he was
So-
in what's
Can't think of
21 Jump Street.
Yes.
20. Yeah, he was in
The
that.
new one?
Yeah. And
Yes.
Anyway.
what was that other
Oh,
one?
he's the one that's in
Seth
with the one.
21 Jump Street.
I think
No,
James
he's in
Franco
that
is
one,
fine
but
as
he's
hell too.
also in,
Like Pineapple Express,
the
James
one
Franco.
like
Yes.
the one like where the world is ending.
He
or-
cracks me up because he always
I'm
looks
thinking of
high,
the
and
one
then he
with
has that like
the-
little crooked smile.
Yep.
What's 17 going on 30 or whatever it is?
Oh,
Zach.
17.
Zac Efron.
Zac
Zach.
Efron.
He's in a movie with Zach Efron.
Yeah.
That's how I remember him.
He's-
I actually like Zach Efron.
I
I
do
think
too.
he's pretty good.
He seems like a nice guy.
So I have to tell my wife's one, and I'm already in trouble for the bathroom story, by the way.
Oh, she listened.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's weird.
So
He was talking a lot of good things about you.
Great
before the
things.
show, though,
Amazing.
so-
Yes.
He said you were
don't-
so beautiful.
this is
And
bad.
I know you are. He showed pictures, lots of pictures.
So she likes right now. Her big one is Sam whatever from Outlander, the Scottish guy.
I haven't seen it.
I understand that because every woman that watches that show falls. in
You
love
know
with
what?
him.
I looked him up once because you guys were
He's
talking
also
about
in
it.
Bloodshot now.
I'm
the new
also a
movie.
Jon Snow guy too.
Oh yeah,
You're a-
Janet.
you're
that's
a Jon
that's my
Snow
wife.
guy.
He is
I do
not
him as a
good
guy,
looking.
I do him as a girl. Either way.
So
He's very short.
who?
Yes.
Jon Snow? Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
not this guy. This
But
guy's
see,
very
it's
tall.
always hard for me because
Is this him?
I'm tall, so everyone's
Yeah.
been short.
All right, so this is the guy from Outlander.
So it's
Okay, I could see that.
she's
Reminds me of
more.
somebody from Twilight, though.
It's more
he's got
about
that
who he
vampire
portrays.
kind of a look.
Well, it's more about who he portrays. Like if you watch the show,
Yeah.
this dude is the man of all men. Like no one could ever live
We'll have
up
to
to
watch
that.
Yeah,
So
but if you
you'll
were to
like it.
just do that by definition, Ron, what's his name? Good God, why can't I think of Ron's last name?
Swanson.
Ron Swanson. Ron Swanson would be the most attractive man in the world.
Yeah,
He's the man of all men.
but her other one.
From-
So the weird
you've
one,
seen
like
Parks
I
and Rec,
understand
no?
that one. That one I get.
Yeah, I've
But-
seen some of it.
Ron, you know
Who's,
the character Ron Swanson? Oh, look
Parks
up.
and Rec.
No.
Ron
Oh, no, we don't
Swanson.
watch Parks and Rec.
Oh man.
I've seen a couple of. I don't. Watch
So
it, though.
her other one is was for the longest time was Jax from Sons of Anarchy. She liked him.
Yeah, I can see-
Yeah.
Okay, so you agree.
All day, every day.
Charlie Hunnam.
Oh, okay.
Hunnam.
Hunman.
Hunnam.
Hun-
Yeah.
Gay. I heard he was gay.
No, he's got a girlfriend, and her name. My wife's name's Morgan, and his wife's name or girlfriend or whatever she is Morgana.
Just like that, I spread a
And she's
rumor.
like, look,
Right.
he's already ready
yeah.
for me.
But you heard it here first, so it must be
You
fact.
heard it
It'd be
here
easy,
first.
just
Charlie,
change the last
Charlie Hunnam's gay.
Charlie
Here-
Hunnam and
yeah.
his whole damn MC are gonna come kill us.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the weird
they're
one.
bad
with her- Here's the kicker. Here's her.
I not attracted to, but like I'm drawn to Jimmy Fallon. Like if I see him on,
Frank
and
is gay. If you haven't
no,
noticed.
he's
100%.
Top 50.
he sucks you right in. He's got the good smile. He's got what seems to be like
Yeah.
a genuine laugh when he actually laughs about something. Which on those shows, everybody's so fake.
You're blushing a
Yeah.
little bit.
Me, I love him.
Oh, and
he has a.
Do you know who my weird one is? If old guy. Okay, let's say
We've
like.
already told you a weird one.
No, that's not a weird
Can I
one.
get
He's
some ice
fine.
cap?
Everybody
No,
knows
he's
fine.
not. He looks.
So, but
Like a
like
retard.
old guy. Like who would you if you had
Bruce
an
Willis.
old guy? Bruce Willis is on the list, but you know who about this is a
How long is this fucking list?
Yeah. What the? What the hell you mean?
Is
your
he on the
list?
list?
Everybody's been on the list.
Is he even in the top 50?
Everybody's been on this damn
I
list.
know
Sam
I'm not.
Elliott.
I-
The old dude?
Really?
Yes. Like I love his voice. I love his attitude. I'm down with that.
Oh,
I like.
Lord.
Like if I had to have pick a sugar daddy, it'd be that one.
I gotta be honest with you. I'd probably be scared to say anything to him.
Yeah,
That was
you're
happening.
gonna go home later. She's gonna be like, "You're my number one, baby." You're,
Yeah.
like, You're a fucking liar.
Yeah.
I know I'm not
Oh
number
my
one.
God.
Am I James Franco's brother? Am
Listen,
I Sam Elliott?
if Outlander dude,
Started.
Jamie is his name on the show. If Jamie came in my house, realistically came into my house, I'd be kicked outside in 5 seconds.
We
So-
started the podcast with about my life insurance policy,
We
Yeah.
did.
and now we're
Oh,
going
don't let him
into-
fool you. He's already told me his little Hayden Pantiera, whatever the hell that little weirdo's
Oh, I
name
know
is.
her.
You know her like personally?
Yeah. No.
Wasn't she the
Yes.
cheerleader?
Yes.
Yeah.
And-
Taylor Swift.
So no.
No.
Listen. So Taylor Swift before recently, like probably
her.
Mine's Margot Robbie.
Like her
and
last
even
2
women
years.
agree with that.
Who?
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Really?
Yeah, you do. Hold on.
Yes, you do. I promise you do. Suicide
Here.
Squad, the girl.
Never seen
Hey,
it.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah. And she was
You've
also
seen her.
in Wolf of Wall Street.
I
the
always
wife.
forget her
Yeah.
too. She's not my type.
Do you know why I like her?
She looks
Because
she looks like
remember
Jamie
Lee
Presley, but I've never
She
seen
looks
her.
Yeah,
like
she
her.
does
I
look like
used to
Jamie
love
Presley.
Jamie Lee
But
Presley.
actually,
So when I was in
that's
high
kind of
school,
weird because
everybody told me that I sounded like
Yep.
Jamie Lee Presley on
Crap.
My name is
Right.
Earl.
Kevin.
My Name is Earl.
Really?
They're like, that's
Yeah,
you-
they're the same person.
You
That's
look
why I
like
love
that
her.
girl. It's
Yeah.
like, what? No.
So no, Taylor Swift. So who did you just?
I said that when I was in high school, people used to tell me that I sounded like Jamie Lee from My Name is Earl.
Oh yeah, Jamie Presley.
Oh,
Like when I
yeah.
get really drunk,
Presley.
like my southern accent comes out really, really bad.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think,
when
that's
I'm
what,
waitress.
I think that's what drew me to my wife because she's Southern sounding.
There was a
Yeah.
porn star that looked just like Jamie Lee Presley, who also used the something Presley name. Hold on.
Jenna.
No.
I know who you're talking about, but so mine's definitely Margot Robbie, and I used to joke with everybody and say, "Who was the?" Now I'm gonna forget her name, but she was missing teeth and everything. She died of like a overdose. She was a good singer. Shit, I can't remember. her
Amy
name.
Winehouse?
Yes.
Really?
I used to joke around and say, it's so bad. I used to say that I wanted to make out with her to lick where missing teeth were.
Oh, she actually went by Jamie Presley.
Yeah, that's what I was saying,
Oh,
but you told
she
me I
did.
was lying. So.
Well, I didn't think you could do that.
She didn't play games.
Why
Like
No,
couldn't-
she
if that's
did.
her
She
name,
went.
She just went for it.
She went full. She went right
if that
at
was
it.
her name.
Maybe it's not though.
But who's to say Jamie Presley's name's actually Jamie Presley?
That's true.
You know what I mean?
She was actually born Jamie Elizabeth Presley.
There you
No.
go.
There you
She's
go.
not fake.
Oh, but I
She's
think her
the
name's
real
spelled
deal.
different.
But a lot of things about her probably are.
Probably.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
I digress.
back to my Taylor Swift thing. I used to like her before her personality really came out.
Yeah.
Like she used to be really
Super
pretty.
liberal, and you kind of sell Second Amendment shirts.
Listen, we are American regardless. But
So like that was our big thing in the beginning.
But yes.
It's like so we're pretty on the conservative side, but personally, like I kind of walk in the middle a little bit. Like I can see, I'm open to see both people's
why
sides.
don't you
of view.
tell them what we want politically?
Oh, so we
These-
always.
these are our political views.
This is my political view. That I just want my gay neighbor to be able to protect his weed with guns and live a happy life.
Perfect.
That's just the way I am. It's like
Perfect.
I can see both points. I can listen to both people. I think that I would have been a liberal back in the day because their whole thing was like, I might not agree with what you're saying, but I'll fight for you to say it. And that's how I am. It's
Sure,
like,
sure.
I don't really give a shit what you do.
I feel like I'm conservative because things are moving too fast for me to get a grasp on them and make
Yeah.
a quick decision.
Yeah.
I
I'm
feel
not
like
okay
this,
with 70 genders.
no.
I think that. I
But
think
that's
liberal
part
and
of what-
conservative have flipped
yes.
from the past to now. So I think everybody who would have been a liberal back in the day is now probably a conservative.
There's a lot of overlapping ideals that have switched sides. But my point that I was trying to make was things are moving too fast for me to just make these quick rash decisions, which is kind of like a liberal thing now. Is like no, everything's accepted, everything's accepted. It's like whoa, slow down for 2 seconds,
Yeah.
and let's get a grasp of what's going
Let's
on,
have a conversation.
and then make a decision. Because I bet I'm leaning more towards the middle.
Yeah.
But by default, I'm going to be super right because if my
Yeah.
choice is conservative or let all shit fly,
Yeah,
I got to be conservative.
ever since I was 18, I think I was always middle ground, and then last 6 years or so, it's
Yeah.
like there's no way I can be on the left. Like that's too far.
We had a Facebook blowout just yesterday on the way home.
I don't like fighting with Frank's friends because I have to like write it, then retract it, then write it, then
I
retract it.
fought with a guy today on Daytona Bike Week page.
I got kicked off.
I mean, I
at
didn't really
Titusville's page
I didn't really fight.
twice.
I just provoked him a little bit.
Yeah, so the thing is I want to fight about certain things,
Yeah.
but here's a great liberal standpoint, right? So the guy who would have almost was the governor of our state here in Florida,
So he
Andrew
posted
Gillum.
this,
Yep.
Or you saw that,
Yeah,
right?
I did.
I-
Meth head.
Ask Kevin. I
There's
chose
more
to
that
post.
came out about that. He was found butt naked.
Okay, so I
No, that's real.
chose to.
Okay, I don't have an issue with that part. I have an issue with the other part.
Well, he was butt naked after some tequila.
He's butt naked every time he gets too much liquor. You're gonna find him on the floor in the bathroom, wrapped around the toilet every
Are
time.
you a
Listen, we don't have to
Marine?
go that far into
Oh, we will.
detail.
We'll
I
go
just don't
there.
have an issue with
So
him
we'll
being
go
naked.
there.
Are you a Marine?
Fuck you. No, I'm not.
So then you're Army.
I was, yes.
We love the Marines. We love the Marines.
Yes.
So
And I'm not like the Marines. I'm not like once Army, always Army.
Well, the
I-
Navy
I
guys,
was.
Army,
the
now I'm
Navy guys
retired.
don't
Thank
get
you.
naked.
I was
Well,
medically retired.
They come sail away.
The point
Come
was,
sail
when I
away.
looked at the article, the first article I could have posted was from Fox News. And I said, you know what? This is going to be the first reaction is look at your source. It came from Fox News.
Obviously.
So I picked a liberal paper, the New York Post.
Right.
And it's the same story. I posted it. And the comment was, you can't trust the New York Post and your source. So then my next comment was a video of all the sources posting the same thing. The Miami Herald, the New
Yep.
York Times, CNN. I'm like, which liberal source would you like?
Right.
Because you can have them all.
Yeah.
And then it was, well, you can't, he would have been a great governor. You can't judge. I'm like, whoa, are you saying that if he was governor, he wouldn't have been in this situation?
He was indicted while he was running.
It's like, okay, but I'm a very big believer in, like, I think that you make mistakes in your past. Shit happens. Everybody's a dumbass
Sure.
kid at one point.
Sure.
Most people
Does
don't
it-
have meth in their mistake.
No, I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, like, I think that
Nowadays, more of them do.
people are quick to be like, he's going to be a great person, even though he was a meth head.
Right.
And I'm like, well, maybe he would have been. Like, what if he would have just got a bunch of taxpayers and
Well-
smoked that shit up, too?
Well, the answer to that was 2 days ago he was caught in a hotel with a shitload of meth,
Yep.
butt naked and inebriated.
Again, I don't have an issue with the butt naked part.
I
What is
don't
up with
either.
him and
I
naked?
don't.
Or
I don't know why.
inebriated.
I don't know why we have to be so emphasized.
But
about
here's the deal,
that. That's
too.
okay.
Okay, you guys are business owners, right? If you were in a public setting, let's just
tax
say there was a
purposes, no, they're not.
conference. Well, let's just let's say there was a conference of
I pay all
business
my
owners,
taxes.
right? Well, are you gonna do that kind of stupid thing that could ruin your reputation amongst that crowd?
I would never do something to my body like that, much less
Okay.
ruin my reputation.
But whatever the
yes.
case is, you're
Yeah.
not getting caught with a room full of hookers at a conference
No.
where your reputation is going to be shot to hell.
No.
If you were just running for governor and you do have any sort of business aspiration, I don't think you put yourself in that situation, even if
No.
you're not the one with the meth. If I'm hanging out with Kevin's got meth, I'm like, dude, you're going to destroy my reputation. Get rid of that shit.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
the thing about meth addicts though is that they just their
That
their
was
brains
makes me-
don't think.
I don't
that's
think
what
they
makes
care.
me think that
You know
it's
what
not
I
like
mean?
it was just like, oh, I just want to party, and then
Agreed.
meth got involved.
Right.
This is like he
there's-
might have been smoking meth for a long time.
Nah.
Like this
You
is
know.
not a one-time thing.
I don't know his history,
I
so I
don't know,
can't
but
say
I think
it.
he makes it.
Right.
No, because the people that make it usually don't smoke it.
Yes,
They're
they
pretty-
do. They usually blow themselves up because they're smoking it.
Yeah. But
That's
that's
what
not
I
the
saw
people that
other
make
day. I
good
said,
meth.
you know what's
So-
crazy about the South?
Listen, all right, for everybody out there, this is what I've heard. I don't know.
That's the true
anything.
definition
I
of
don't know
Not a meth
anything
head.
about meth
So
personally.
don't get high off of your own supply was actually started by a meth head. He just killed himself.
Yeah. I saw something.
There was actually a fire, probably 6 months or so ago, just down the road from your parents' house, that started because of a meth
I don't remember that.
lab or whatever, that trailer that
Oh yeah.
me and your dad tracked down to find
It blew up.
what was happening.
Good
Yeah.
God.
I
Meth
saw a
lab.
thing that said in the South, everybody's so worried about this coronavirus, but you're more likely to get blown up by your neighbor's meth lab than you are to get the coronavirus. And I'm like, wow, that's so true.
It is true.
Carrie better be not cooking that meth.
Oh, God. Yeah, he's too close to you.
Yeah.
So, anyway, do we have anybody on to do a giveaway or no? Are you seeing the whole feed or just yours?
I'm on my own Facebook, which 3 people are watching, and I clicked off the other one.
All right, so we'll say this now. Kevin, you post it. We are going to give away this exclusive hat to somebody locally, but they have to subscribe to the show. They have to follow American Regardless. They have to follow us, and I want them to comment. Give me that damn hat.
Yes.
Our listeners can't spell that.
DAMN.
Yeah.
We will accept
We
DAMN.
would- DAM.
Anything that sounds like they're
Relatively
asking for the
close.
damn hat.
Relatively close.
All right, and we'll give it. And if anybody else is listening locally, look, I'm wearing the St. Patty's Day shirt, which I can't read backwards. What does it say?
Drunk mode on.
Drunk mode on. So if you guys order this from the website, you're not going to get it in time. So if you want one, you better place an order during this show, and I'll be able to grab one for you if you're local. So there
Don't
you
get
go.
pinched on St. Patty's Day.
Don't get pinched.
Isn't
You
that
know,
what they do? Is that
Dude, I
yeah,
don't know,
they
it's like-
pinch you for
yeah,
not wearing
smack
green.
the shit out.
I
that's what I thought.
never wear green on St. Patty's Day. Not intentionally. I just
It just happens.
always slips my mind, and I get dressed and I leave.
Yeah.
Always.
Now our
Nope.
kids are going to be out of school for 2 weeks, so Yay.
North Carolina school.
I don't have to worry about, like,
Has
finding
Florida schools done that? Have they-
So we are out through March, for sure.
much fun.
Everything else has been canceled. Like I coach my son's baseball,
Yep.
canceled.
So that's
Field
a-
trips canceled.
That's a fun story. So me and Lacey just spent about $1,500 probably on batting cage, baseball equipment for both of our sons. Like we decked them out for the year, man. Got really nice bats for them. And my youngest son hasn't started yet. We're hoping that all this stuff's done before rec league starts. But our oldest son was in middle school, played 2 games, and they canceled them all after the second game.
Super.
Oh,
Man.
I definitely didn't spend that much, but you figure I spent about 100 and.
Well, the batting cage had a lot to do with that.
Sure.
We had a pitching machine and a batting cage.
That
in
was
the
more for
backyard.
us because we could
You
go
know
out
what,
there
though?
and just get drunk and hit balls.
But
We do it.
but just because baseball's canceled doesn't mean he can't go out in the batting
Right,
cage.
that's
Exactly,
what I told
and
him.
that's
Was like,
what's
you need to go like get.
Oh, I would
knock
spend
all
even
that
more
rust
time.
off. Yep.
I would
Right.
spend even more time doing it because
Yeah.
they don't want to do it too much when they're practicing 2-3 times a week. But I spent money on the team. I ordered equipment, my uniforms. We pay as coaches. Like I still
Yeah.
pay for my son to play.
Right.
And then you figure, I just ordered him some more gear, like new stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great. We had one game,
And
Yeah.
now it's over.
and now it's basically over. And then the league had a nerve to send an email out to everybody asking if we were going to pay $60 next weekend for the coaches' workshop. They're flying somebody in, and I'm
Are
like,
y'all gonna send me a refund?
No,
for my
thank you.
kids?
okay, so I'm not the only one who said something about money.
No.
Yeah, no,
Everybody else
that's-
was like, oh, maybe it's not a good idea because of Corona. And I'm like, how much more of my money do you want?
I don't know what it is here. Back home, it's for the rec league. It's $30 per kid.
For how often?
That's for the
Whole
spring.
spring season.
Oh no, ours was $125
hell no.
for
Yeah,
my
100
son.
At $125, if they're calling asking me for $60, I'd be saying, "Where's my $120
Yeah,
back?"
$125.
Yeah.
I paid extra for one of the coaches because we had an extra coach. I paid for his shirt and hat. That was $40. The practice before the season started, I bought the whole team pizza.
Listen,
kind of like a.
just for future reference, I can get you hats and shirts a lot cheaper.
We know
Well,
a guy.
Yeah.
I know an embroidery guy, and I know a guy that does some screen printing.
If you can see, I'll show you on the way out. I'll show you the
Have
stuff
to.
that they made, as far as like what we have to order.
Is it scary?
It's a little disappointing.
Oh my god.
Like put it this way, shirts you can't even throw in the dryer.
Oh yeah, no, don't do
the
that.
ordinary guy stuff?
No, that stuff's junk. I'm talking about the stuff that
That shrunk up so much that it
Are y'all talking about the stuff that y'all had on your website?
that's junk.
Yeah. So these shirts, these are the tri-blends. Not these ones. Those two that you guys are wearing are pre-shrunk cotton. They are not going to
Oh,
shrink.
let me tell you how mine shrunk. Mine would fit a inherently supersized giant dwarf.
When you first got it. No,
No,
now
after I
it's
washed
short
it
and
once.
wide,
I wore it once, it fit, and then it went like this tall.
but stayed wide.
Yeah,
I stayed wide.
it did. It was like a double wide
It's
trailer.
amazing. So I did a couple shirts. I actually do want to talk to you guys about it at some point. So what I did was I couldn't afford, when I started my business, I couldn't afford to spend the money on 500 shirts or whatever
Right.
bulk
Yeah,
deal I got.
absolutely, it's hard.
So I found a website that you just pay per shirt. So I created it, have no markup, so that I could order myself work shirts.
Right.
I was like, this will work for now. At least get
Yeah.
the name out. So going forward, I would like a shop, because I do want to create like some slightly fun shirts with.
Right.
I mean, I do woodworking, but it would be cool to have like just
So
some
many
different.
good puns with that one.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
That's what I would like to
Send
do.
them to us, man.
Like I got hammered at Hammerhead Woodwork.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Little things like that.
Yeah.
Just whiskey glasses.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing because people see it and they're like, "Oh, that's funny. Oh, you do woodworking. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I like you. You
So-
seem like my kind of friend, guy."
I'm like, just because I have the business doesn't mean I want to change who I am. I still
Right.
want to have some fun doing it, which is another thing I like about your business. I mean, you guys are your business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We.
It's
you
not
know,
a-
we don't rely
It's-
on anyone else
and
to
it's
Yeah.
not
do
like,
what we do.
It's not like you're gonna see these.
Well, other than our embroidery, but
It's like you see these shirts and think like, "This some CEO made this shit sitting there." No, this is us sitting
Yeah.
like in a room eating popcorn and vanilla wafers, and he's like, "Oh God, it'd be funny." And I was like, Let's put something about a Glock because it sounds like a cock.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Well, I
This is
remember
not
we had
fun.
Mo on the show, and you wrote me like while he was on the show,
Yeah.
dude, I've got the perfect shirt for him. It's not even out yet.
Right.
The American Badass shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, I want to send him one. I was like, that's perfect. So that's perfect.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress.
I don't think our chat's working.
That's all right.
We have a lot of people listening, but no one said the thing, so I think mine's just messed up.
Well,
Say things, people.
Say things.
If you
What
don't want
about
the
if they
damn
post
hat,
on?
say you want the damn hat. Maybe it's nobody local that's listening.
That could be true. You know what we did? Did we have somebody in China at one point? Canada.
I was about to say, what
He's
the
our
fuck?
one Twitch listener.
I thought you were talking
We have
about
He
Twitch
listens every
listener.
time, talks shit about us, and then signs off. I love him.
My dad's
Just
originally
like- Yeah.
originally from Canada.
He tells us
Yeah.
how much we suck,
Yeah.
and then he signs off. And
Listen, you
I
suck, eh?
I adore him.
Like, I thought you were supposed to be really nice.
And I have
Canadian's
issues.
nice.
I have issues because I got a lot of friends that talk shit about Canada. So I'm like, man, you can't say that because my dad's from Canada. But then I'm like, but they're pretty fucking stupid.
But
up
some
there
of the
right
shit
now.
they
So,
do.
like I don't know.
Some of the shit.
Canada's like a
My dad
loft
claims
apartment
America,
over
though,
a really
man.
good party.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And is Mexico like the sketchy basement?
Oh
yes,
my
it
God.
most definitely is.
So
Yeah,
That's
you don't
where they
wanna go
make
there.
all those fancy drinks.
look, since we're all fans of comedy here, Jim Brewer, that joke he has about mixing your have you heard Jim Brewer's
think
joke
so.
about mixing your alcohols?
No.
He tries to explain that that's a stomach party. He's like, so it's all about who you invite to the party. It's like you want to invite your family and friends, beer. You want to invite 20 of them. They know each other. They're fine. They get along. He goes,
That's
Yeah.
where this is going already.
I can't do accents or but then he goes, then all of a sudden Scotch starts knocking on your door. And I don't have a Scottish accent. He's like, and then you're really sketchy about letting them in because they don't know anybody here at this party. And then he basically, so he's going through the list, right, of everybody coming through. He's like, and just when the party's almost over and you're ready to shut it down, he's like, hello.
It's like tequila.
Fuck,
Shit
it's
kicks in the
tequila.
water.
Fuck,
That's what he goes,
tequila.
We
it's
finally have a hat taker.
really?
Jeff Burton.
Awesome.
Yeah,
like,
I'm glad
like
he
the
won it.
Jeff Burton.
Jeff Burton. Jeff used to be a part of a podcast here locally. They're no longer doing it, but it was him and my buddy Tony. They came on a show. It was the longest show we ever had. It was
Yeah,
like 3
We're
and a
gonna
half
fix that
hours.
tonight.
It was hilarious. I'm
We
down.
got to go another two
You
and a
do
half
know
hours.
that we have to drive like 8 hours tomorrow to go home.
Who?
You are driving.
Oh.
I'll call an Uber.
We just did that trip. It wasn't that bad.
Well, we
It's
were
really
just shy of them.
You have more corona.
She
in
sits
South
here and
Carolina.
talks shit about it. Not like she drives an inch of that whole.
My wife does
I
the
love
same
how he
thing.
talks shit, but we used to drive
Granted,
the
we are-
26 hours to Texas, and I would drive the shitty shift from like 3 a.m. until we were like pulling in the driveway, and I'm like, I don't think I can
That's
drive.
terrible.
Do you guys ever eat at Maurice's barbecue?
No.
No,
Oh
I know a
my-
guy named.
And you
Maurice.
live up there? I took him for
No.
the
We
first
live
time.
in North Carolina, not South
Yeah,
Carolina.
but you got to go through it, don't you?
Well, we went through
We don't-
Greenville.
Listen,
We
going through South Carolina is the worst experience of your life unless you've ever been to Louisiana because the roads are terrible.
Greenville's
Right.
in. So, Maurice's. So I've only eaten there once. It was spectacular. I like barbecue.
It's a shithole.
Oh,
What kind of barbecue sauce?
That's
they have?
always the best
They have,
places.
Like, real North
Mustard.
Carolina?
gold. They
Okay,
had
mustard's not what we use though. We use
Carolina
vinegar.
gold.
Oh, you like that Alabama shit?
No, North Carolina barbecue sauce.
North Carolina's
is vinegar.
different. Yeah.
It is.
It's
a
apple
vinegar. Red?
cider It's. I worked at a barbecue restaurant for a real long time. No, it's like apple cider vinegar and spices and lemon and all this shit.
That
So
sounds like ass.
Oh, it's delicious.
It's good. I've had
It's
it.
delicious.
It's good. It's good. Who does the white?
Alabama.
Alabama.
Whoa, I don't know if you can say that. That's racist.
I have found out because Alabama's the only state that doesn't have coronavirus, which proves that meth and a heavy dose of incestual sex cures it.
Saves you.
We were looking at where we can move, and I've been wanting to go to Montana
Is this
forever.
serious? Is Alabama the only state that
Yeah.
doesn't have it?
I don't know yet, but I was really bummed out. Montana got their first case the other day.
Damn.
I don't even
know.
know how.
I wish it was West
It
Virginia.
should have been
I
Colorado.
wish it was West Virginia that didn't have
Colorado
it.
should have.
Yeah, but then it would just been like weed. But if it's West Virginia,
Oh
it's
my
like-
God! Could you imagine though if Colorado didn't have any cases?
They're like,
Oh,
we are
dude.
so gonna be
Oh
potheads.
my God!
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, hey,
Let
Brucey,
me grab
that
your
weed
things. We're
saves
moving to
all.
Colorado with all the potheads.
Hey, man.
But the other point Kevin made, okay? Everybody knows a guy like this guy.
Me.
No, RT.
Oh,
So, was he a hippie?
Your mic moves itself.
Yeah.
up.
It does. It drives me nuts. So we'll sit there. There's times we'll sit there.
I was trying to figure out if I
And
was
it just
drunk or
goes,
if it was
no.
actually happening.
It does this
Yeah.
all the time, and it drives me nuts.
What am I thinking of a movie? Oh, I guess it is
It's
Ricky Bobby when he's like
with his hands. That's my
just
mic.
move.
My mic gets an erection. It's turned on by my voice.
It's trying to get in your mouth. I see it over there. It just
But-
keeps creeping up.
So this guy is basically like Kevin's uncle, right? Kevin. Long story short, Kevin's family started a business. This person was partnered with them, so he's known his dad forever. So this guy he looks like Eric Clapton. He plays the drums professionally in an Eric Clapton cover band, which is cool on its own.
Like, this is fucking sweet.
He's a liberal, right? Which I don't have a problem with. He's
Right.
a very nice guy. He's a lush. He loves the ladies. It's just so hanging out with this guy is just gold. So I was at a conference with him for 2 days. It was gold. Kevin, how much did we spend between the two of us?
Under $500.
And that's including hotel?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's including the hotel
Okay.
room
That's
and
cheap.
booze.
Yeah.
That's cheap.
And booze.
One guy on his own.
We would have barely had anything.
How much?
$900.
Oh my god.
We
Yeah.
call him Old Picklefinger.
Well, I'm not going out and like getting my drink on with all this shit going on.
Right,
So-
we were trying to lay low, and this guy's just like drinking everything under the sun.
Look where our fans are listening from right now.
Oh, that's amazing.
I just got this. We're listening to your show and we're here.
That's perfect.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Who is that?
Send us more
Who is
pictures
that?
of
Who
it.
is that?
JT Paris.
Is that local?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Can we give JT a shirt?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Which shirt do you think would be a good fit for
Well,
JT?
Whichever
I'll
one
do
the
this.
boss lady says.
I don't care.
She's the CEO. I'm just
All right.
I'm just a
CEO.
money person.
Check out them tax forms.
All right. I don't think we should we don't want to give him the big Glock.
Do we?
I mean,
the strippers might like that. I don't know.
That is true. The strippers
just
might
saying.
like it. What is this one?
That's you made me say that right now.
what?
That means the fear. What does that one mean?
I don't
I'm all
know.
messed up.
How about
You're the owner.
Too
I
much
know.
whiskey.
I'm messed up right now.
okay? What
Is he gonna get naked in a minute?
Y'all gonna find him in there and
I'm
just
not
like,
if
getting
he's
naked
getting
tonight,
naked, I'm throwing
no.
Lysol wipes at him. And
In
leave
order
him.
for peace, prepare for war is what that.
in
would
order
mean.
for peace, prepare for war. Ask JT if he's a fan of the Second Amendment. There.
Yeah, dude, he has guns.
Do
up his
you
ass
like-
right now?
So
ammo.
do you happen to do you have the? I love the AR shirt.
Yeah.
Do you have those in stock? Ask JT what size he is.
Wait, which AR shirt?
Probably the
Ju-
black plain one.
Just a plain
one
The AR
with
logo.
the AR logo.
Yeah. Yeah, I have some out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Ask him what size he is, and then we'll. What I like about that one is exactly what you said. It is to the point.
Yeah.
It's not like there's some of the other companies that you have to actually like read the shirt,
Right.
and you're like, oh, I get it. And even then, I'm not gonna pick on anybody,
Right.
but they are still kind of on the line
Yeah.
where they're like, like anybody can still kind of wear this.
Who are we talking about?
We're talking about the GS ones.
You can absolutely talk about it.
Okay. So a lot of their stuff.
They
a
did
lo-
give us
I
a
just,
free shirt.
I just want to let you
Did
know
they?
that like,
Yeah, in the beginning.
I mean,
it's
that's
funny 'cause
great.
we'll tell people like, hey,
Well,
shirt,
that's-
you want to trade it?
That's because of
I don't
somebody
even know
that
what it
works
is.
there.
Right.
It's
No, I
not
mean, like, we
because
tell
of
people that when we
them.
see
Well,
them,
I
like, they're
can
wearing
say a lot
one.
of great things about, especially the guy that started that. I'm not gonna start throwing names and stuff like that. But the guy that started that company, he did a great job. You know, he started from absolutely nothing, sold them out of the back of his truck, and made it what he made it. But we heard a lot of bad things about shipping. Like it took months.
It took a while.
At
Weeks.
some points to ship the shirts. And that's
And it
something
just
that we
couldn't-
absolutely pride ourselves on. Is
Which,
trying
by
to
the
get
way,
it
we're
out.
still waiting on our Barbasol shit. For over, yeah, Barbasol supposedly was
shave?
going to sponsor
Barbasol
us
sponsored us like 2 years ago
and never
Oh.
sent us
and
anything.
never sent us a kit. They were okay. So we were supposed to talk. They heard about me saying that I was going to shave my sack with Gillette
Menthol.
for like a run that I was doing.
Oh.
And then they wrote us basically. We I don't know how we reached out to them, but they were like, "We're gonna send you Barbasol stuff. It would be funny." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so it's like, okay, cool. So we use Barbasol. And then they didn't. So then I just, at one show, I had a can of Gillette on the table. I don't think they like us anymore. But, no, so what happened was there was a guy. Okay, what I liked about Grunt Style was, first off, I bought a shirt
Oh,
from
you said the
them.
name
I
now.
did say the name. It's the cat's out of the bag. So I
Front
bought.
Ryle is what he meant.
I could do this without pissing anybody off. So I bought a shirt from them years ago, back when you could only buy like through Facebook kind of a thing,
Yeah.
Right.
When they were just post like there's a lot of companies that are out there where that's how you buy it.
Yeah.
And it was an awesome shirt. It said "fuck ISIS" in Arabic.
Oh yeah.
I
love that
loved
shirt.
it. I was like, that's an amazing shirt. I want it. So, are you familiar with their beer guarantee?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I thought that was crazy too when I bought it. I was like, really? You guys are going to do that?
Yeah.
So I bought an extra large. I was heavier. So then years go by.
Now he wishes he could have it back.
No, I still fit my largest. I just need to start running again. So years go by, and I'm like, you know what? Let me actually cash in this beer guarantee thing.
Right.
So I reached out to somebody in that department, and I said, this is the shirt I have. And the guy was like, holy shit, we don't make that shirt anymore. Can I have it for here, for there?
Yeah.
I'll give you another one. And then we got to talking. He's like, I'll give you 2 shirts, that fit you. Send it in. And I was like, yeah, and we also have this podcast. And the guy writes me personally now from his own email. And he's like, dude, I love the show. You guys are awesome. What sizes you wear? I'm going to send you a mystery bag. Nice. That was kind of the extent of it. So it wasn't that Grunt Style hooked us up.
Right.
It was that
Some guy.
that guy that worked there went and did that for us, which I thought was super cool. And he still listens to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right on.
it's
Well,
super cool.
It's like one of those things. It's like I think all businesses that like start from something and they work hard and they make themselves. I love Grunt Style. I have 2 Grunt Style shirts. I have their POW shirt and I also have their
Beautiful Badass.
Badass shirt.
I like that one.
But my problem was I bought the Beautiful Badass shirt and it shrunk immediately, and I was like, oh shit.
Well,
All of mine have.
that one was also made in Honduras.
Which is fine, and I'm not saying that, but it's like we're on a grind on ourselves to try and be better than the competitors. And it always blew my mind that people were, the first thing I'd see was like, shipping is terrible. And I'm like, how? Like, we are a 2-man team here. Like, we have 3 kids, 2 dogs, and we run a business. And when you put an order in and you say, okay, I want a triple XL shirt, that means that's us going outside and working and turning all the machines on and getting ready and doing that shirt that night, and the next day going to the post office, or like the next time he's not at work, and making this shirt and putting it out. And I'm like, how does it take us 2 days?
Yeah.
So there's kind of a stigma to that. So I kind of want to talk through that for a second, because there's kind of 2 ways to look at it, right? You look at, okay, big company,
Yeah.
right? And forget them. Any big company, Nike.
Yeah.
Right.
It
Nike.
doesn't have to be.
You're like,
yeah.
okay, that shirt's in stock. I'm placing order. Someone's receiving order, dropping it in mail. It's coming to me.
Yeah.
Right? Some people kind of like that, right? It's kind of like the McDonald's aspect.
Yes.
Anywhere you go in this country, I almost said Whopper. A Big Mac's going to be a Big Mac.
Outside the country.
I would think
Even
so, right?
in like China and stuff.
I know
Well, I think
Can-
they're a little
China-
I
different,
know
but-
Canada, Big Mac.
Theirs has the Corona.
Yeah, well, we just gotta throw it in there. Make sure you don't get that.
Yeah, it can have the one that's
And in
real.
France, it comes with a bit of pretentiousness.
Yeah, slightly. But
Oh, by the way, that is when you. I'm just joking.
no,
I had to.
So-
I had to.
That's
Oh,
a new
that was great.
That's a new shirt.
yeah.
That's a new shirt
It's
idea
funny
right
because he
there.
doesn't get it.
But
You should admit that would be a good one.
Right.
well, to wrap up this point, it was. I'm not saying that it's a turnoff. I think it's actually a really good quality to know that a business is run efficiently like that. But that's a big deal. A lot of people see a company name and they think a company. They don't necessarily associate like an individual.
Right.
Right. So when they're ordering from you, it is not like you can order 100 of these shirts and they're all getting sent out to you tomorrow. Right. Like it's somebody's making this shirt
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
And they're sending it out to you. That's a big deal. Like, that's something that I think a lot of people need to kind of look at a little bit more and realize that there's something to that. It's a touch,
Absolutely. Like right now we have, y'all saw what we have. That's what we have in stock right now. So if they order anything outside of that, we're
But
making
it
We're
wasn't
making
like-
it for that person, and while we're making it, like we're thinking about the name of who
The-
this
the
is.
person,
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can do it.
Yeah.
Like, so bigger companies, like bigger screen printing companies. Like
They've
we
gone
just
to
talked.
automatic presses.
Or
I was gonna say
automatic
this
presses.
comes
So
offline
they throw
kind
the ink
of
on
thing.
there, and the shirts come on, and the machine just does it for them, and they just pull them off and throw them on.
Right.
So for us, like all the shirts we had, we did all of that in a 3-day period, and we worked from the time we woke up to the time we went to bed every single day to get ready for this gun show because it's so hard, like judging, like what are you gonna buy?
Sure.
You know, it's like we have so many orders, and we looked back through them. I was like, okay, what is the most that is sold in the last amount of time? And it's so off the fucking wall. It's like we had 10 of these that sold, and then 10 of these, and then 5 of these.
The
and we're
gun
like,
show, it was everything.
Shit.
It was the shirts that
I've got an
she
idea for a
wanted.
shirt.
Really?
Yeah, so now I'm like, come on, give me some more. Let's do this.
I
Yeah.
would really like
'Cause-
you to have your emblem here, and instead of the flag, even though that's probably a bad thing to say, I would like you to have the ordinary guy symbol, and I would like for it to say, "You ain't taking my AR-14."
What?
You didn't hear about that thing?
You didn't see that with Joe
yeah,
Biden?
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Sleepy
Yeah.
Joe was like,
And then on
Oh,
the back it should say
Sleepy
Sleepy
Joe.
Joe.
There you
Oh
go.
my God! You gotta do
Trump
some
like
sort of
this.
he's not
sleep
even
shirt.
running for president anymore. He's running for the Senate.
You get 10 people to say they'll buy one. I'll make them.
A Sleepy Joe shirt.
I think that'd be a good one.
There you go.
So I get all these.
AR-14 for life, baby.
I get all these ideas, but I'm not like uniquely artistic, right? So if I saw it, I could probably recreate it. But when
Right.
it's just an idea in my head, I can't get it out the way I
It's
want.
hard,
It
It's a very hard
it's
thing.
It's a long
It's tough.
process.
you know.
But like,
So-
we wanted people to get that is like it's not for us. It's not just us throwing. It's not just money out the door for us because it's not. This is our whole life with him. He has work. We have kids, so our kids definitely suffered for like 3 days. We're like, here, just take some fruit snacks, go outside
Oh
and play.
God!
I'm sorry, we have to get this done. Like we were so busy, and then our kids will come in and they'll get their hands dirty, and somebody will always touch the ink. Always touches the damn ink because the ink doesn't come out.
So is this like the only business, or do you also have other jobs?
Well, we have a custom screen printing business. So if like people who have like baseball teams
Sure.
need to do something,
Okay.
we will help them, design and do things. We actually just did a friend of ours. They have a snake selling business, I think, or they do exotic snakes.
Animals.
And we just did one of
mainly
theirs.
snakes.
And then my friend Becca owns like a car lock and lot, and we did their shirts. But then he works
I work 40 hours.
40 hours a week.
Full-time job.
So it's like
minimum 40 hours a week.
we're tired a
sometimes
lot.
longer.
Yeah, but I mean
And,
that's
and night shift too.
that's important though because it means something, right? So, and I mean, I work 2 jobs. I work a 9 to 5, and I build furniture, like
Right.
either
Yeah.
during that
Yeah.
or at night. So for example, before you guys came over, I mean, I was building a flag for somebody that I needed to crank out and get to them. Not like my ideal kind of a job because I like the bigger pieces, like actual piece of furniture.
Right.
I'm on like a 5-week back order for furniture.
That's perfect.
It is, but
Except
in
it's pressure.
it's
the
pressure.
It's
to get it
also,
done.
it's also terrible at the same time. It's like I know that I have this coming up,
And I
but
want
it's
money,
also
but-
like
exactly, and
it's like,
and
I
I
need to get these to
won't
these people.
I won't take at first. I wouldn't take deposits if I couldn't get it done in 3 weeks or less. And then I started, realizing that it's not just like it's not like I could get it done in 3 weeks, but I'm saying 5.
Right.
It's 5 is a stretch, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it done in 5.
Right.
If that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So it's like busting my ass to get it. Not that I can't, I can make 1 unit from start to delivery in a week. But the problem is I don't have just 1 order.
Right.
I've
Right.
got like 10 of them. So
And
I'll
you
be
have another job, and you have a family.
I'll
so-
be up all night, and then you're like, oh, I need something. What time is it? I can't get to the hardware store to buy screws right
Yeah.
now. They're closed.
Yeah.
So
And it's
It's a-
super hard not to take deposits from people, man, because
It's
you can
tough.
get screwed. So
I got somebody who
easily.
said I don't want to do business that way, and I was like, neither do I.
Right.
Like I don't want to do business your way.
Yeah, but if I sit here and work on this for the next 5 weeks, and then you decide you don't want it anymore,
out.
where am I?
Exactly.
Right? Someone's
Frank
gonna
is
want.
the worst at pricing. The
Here we
absolute
go.
Worst.
Let me hear
Price
it. Kevin.
yourself way under it, or
Listen, Frank is like, how much should I charge for this table? And I'm like, okay, no, seriously. So think about this. So if you were going to buy a kitchen table, right? If you were to go to, let's say, IKEA even.
Yep.
Let's just say shitbag store that is nothing but press.
I watch your mouth.
I own it.
love
You watch your
IKEA.
mouth.
I own it. I own
Love
it.
it.
How do you love it?
Okay,
Because
He
it's
hates
the
it.
be-
I
no, he
assure
does.
you, because he has to put it
He
together.
loves it.
let's
I'm
let's
putting
use
shit
this for
together.
example. Look at that.
I'm gonna
And-
cough
and
twice.
That's on my Instagram.
He said cough
Yeah.
So-
Anyways, no man likes
Okay.
IKEA.
Okay.
So in your head, think about, and both of you take a look.
425.
What'd you say?
425.
Okay.
For what?
That's a kitchen island.
For that?
That's someone's
You're-
kitchen island.
No.
For that?
I'm like lowballing pricing. I would pay up to like 7.
Okay. Kevin, how much? So
You're
Kevin,
way
tell
a
me.
woman right now.
I'm
You
way
know-
a woman.
Yeah, because that is
If we
solid
saw
wood,
this at the store,
and you had to have it,
Yep.
and it was at Ethan Allen.
Oh,
Okay,
come
but
on,
now
forget,
you're
take
gonna-
the name out of it.
but
Take
the-
the name out of it.
Wait, but we're
They're
talking
gonna be-
about solid wood furniture,
yeah,
and
but
Ethan
they're gonna
Allen's solid wood.
charge. This is gonna be at least $14.99.
See, I'm with him.
If you go to Ashley's Furniture,
Yeah,
Okay,
well, that's what.
that's
a
this
great
is
example.
shit.
Listen, I'm gonna
but
quote.
Ashley's Furniture
hey.
is a brand name, and that's why they charge
Listen,
that much.
I'm
and they
gonna
really
quote.
just.
I'm gonna quote Happy Gilmore here and say this is some handmade quality shit we're talking.
I'm not saying it's not
Yeah.
quality shit, but the thing is like he doesn't have an overhead, and women know that. Ashley Furniture's does. And that's what I'm
care
saying.
what
So
women
what
we
we've
know.
decided is women are not allowed to buy
This
beyond
is-
no furniture no more.
This is not made by a machine. This is not
know
made in a
that.
factory. This is handmade.
Are you gonna buy me a $1,400 island?
When the business picks up and you're selling 6,000 shirts a day, of course he will.
Okay, so
Of course he will.
both of you two have
We'll have
agreed
this
that the price
conversation
is
Too low.
high,
So
right?
what did you charge for that?
$475.
Here's the thing.
Maybe I'm just really good at calling prices.
So
Is it rude if I go use
No, but here's the
bathroom
no,
No.
not at
So
all.
here's the thing. He built me a table that was custom made, and I was looking for a table,
Yeah.
by the way, and build it like perfect. Even though I make fun of it and say it was red because me and my wife messed
Okay,
with him.
so this is actually a great story.
Yeah. So we were looking at tables, and so I built a table just to appease my wife.
Right.
I could have built it nicely, but I
But I chose
did
not
not
to.
because I just didn't give a shit about that table.
Right.
So, and I'm a busy person. So, anyways, I built this table. It looks like ass. The only reason I built it is because I was looking at tables and they were like $2,000
Oh yeah.
for a solid
fucking
wood table.
expensive.
That's not with chairs or nothing.
Yeah, they're super expensive.
So, Frank, I call him after I built this thing, and Morgan at this point has had enough of this thing. She's like, I've tried to put up with this table for long enough. It looks like shit. I was trying to be nice because you built it. And I'm like, yeah, I know it looks like shit. Like, I knew that when I set it down. So I'm like, Frank, can you fix this thing? So Frank comes over, builds me a whole new table instead of fixing it.
He's like, you just need a new one because this is
Yeah.
terrible.
Point is he's resold this table, and he goes, how much should I sell this table for? Because he's
Right.
like posted mine and said, do you want to buy this table? Me seeing that it was $2,000,
At the store.
I'm like, $1,000 sounds
Right.
pretty damn good. He goes and sells the bitch for like $400 or $500. I'm like, you're out of your
I think that you could
goddamn
definitely
mind.
make more. I think that I'm just like really good at the prices right. And so that's why I would
Okay, so
You know what I mean? Like in my head, I'm like, okay, what would someone sell this for? But I think that you could definitely get more out of it because I see them happen all day, every day where we live. People build these gorgeous wood tables, and they're probably
you are in a
not
great
even-
spot for it.
They're yeah,
The Carolinas.
Yes, all these
Love it.
shiplap bitches everywhere.
Love it.
I hate shiplap.
I love it.
So the problem I
have
have
a shiplap
is
floor.
and my story and
I hate it.
some of you guys have heard this already, and if you have, I apologize if not. But I mean, I lost my job. I worked for a scumbag, and I lost my job.
Work for me now.
Well, I still work for a scumbag, but so
He's nicer.
I lost my job, and what happened was it kind of like blacklisted me in the industry. I was a financial advisor, and people either heard that I worked for him and didn't want me to because I worked for him,
Right.
or they knew him and he had already kind of destroyed my name. So
Lovely. Sounds
I
like a
was out of
fucking great
work,
guy.
like I would say proper work, for over a year. Now, the furniture came because somebody said, hey, I like that table. Can you make me one? And I made one, and then more people started asking. And then it went from I had one order in July, and then December I had 22 pieces that I delivered.
Wow.
So it's gotten crazy. And if I focused full time, it is a full time job.
Right.
Yeah.
But you lose something on that, right? So I don't want to rush pieces.
Yeah.
I want every piece to be special. I want to be thinking of that person's name
Right.
as I'm making it.
Yeah.
So I guess what I was getting at was I don't want to not have work doing it.
Yeah.
So I try to price low, right? Because I'm
You
not
undercut the competitor.
an Ashley's Furniture
Right.
or whatever the case
Yeah,
is.
but he's like at sweatshop prices.
Well, there's
See,
some
but-
pieces that broke down. Like I end up making like $100 off of a piece, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. I can't do that. I spent a week on that.
Yeah.
But
And it takes time to like find like
I've made
the
kitchen
cushy
tables.
spot that you're not too
Sure.
high, that all the competitors you're competing with them, and you're undercutting all them, and that you're making enough money to make it worth your while. Because that's what we've talked about many times. It's like it gets hard sometimes when you're like putting all these hours into it, and you're like putting all of your effort into it, and you're neglecting your family. And it's like we are married, we haven't talked to each other about anything other than screen printing for like
Right.
2 weeks.
right, especially you're living it, and you're right next to each
Yeah.
other, and that's all you're talking about.
Yes. And it's like you get to the point where you're just like, I don't know if we can do this anymore. Is it worth it? Like we charge less. You can't buy a t-shirt.
I was gonna say that you guys have a great shirt under $20.
Yeah, and our
Made in
hats
America.
are under
That's
$20.
huge. A hat under $20.
Yeah.
You don't wear hats because your head's too big, but that's an amazing thing to have a hat under $20.
Yeah.
I have an Under Armour hat that I found in an outlet. I was with you when I found it, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He's
Yeah.
also in the top 50 guys that
He's in the top 10.
He's in the top 50.
100%.
Hold on. So
I'm just gonna keep
No, I'm gonna let
adding
you
to my
finish.
list.
It's a joke.
I'm gonna come
There's
back.
no top 50 guys.
I
mean,
don't believe you. But go ahead.
I don't either.
but I wear that hat to running all the time, so it's getting a little beat up. So I was looking
Yeah.
up a replacement, and I was like, I kind of like that hat, Was it $65 online
For a hat?
Yeah.
for a hat?
Shut the front door.
I won't buy it. When mine falls apart, it falls apart. I got mine for like $30, and then I was like, it's a little high,
At an
but
outlet store for
at
30
an outlet store for $30.
You need to go to AmericanRegardless.com.
Of
Yeah.
course.
But see,
The fact
I
that-
like that they have the mesh backs because a lot of people that
Mesh
they get
backs are
hot
nice.
and it's summer's about to happen. But
I usually will only wear a mesh back.
yeah,
I don't like wearing. To me, it feels like a sock over my damn
Yeah.
head. Just
Right.
trapping in the heat. I generate heat. To breathe is
Especially
nice.
running.
Yeah,
Need,
for
like,
sure.
Some sort of moisture wicking.
I don't know. I don't
100%.
mind.
I want to move this to overpriced shit real quick, by the way.
Not-
I had an
not
enlightening
American
experience.
Regardless.
No.
No, American Regardless is not overpriced.
So, I don't know how much you guys listen, but I talked about when I bought my wife's first Louis Vuitton, and I freaked the fuck out.
Oh, they're so expensive.
Oh,
I
I
don't
had
have
no
one.
idea when I bought none. But we won't go back into that story. We'll go into the new story. So we're walking through Millennium Mall, which is in Orlando, which is like high end stuff. So they even
Right.
they're it's so richy rich that it's like they not only have a Louis Vuitton store, they have a women's and a men's store, 2 separate locations. So I'm
Looks
walking.
like money. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've heard about the red bottom shoes, right?
Yep.
So I see Christian Louboutins, and I'm like, yeah, let's walk in. Like, let's see what we got here. Like, I'm not, no idea.
Right.
Holy shit!
Yes. 100%.
Like the cheap ones are $1,000.
Yeah.
For a pair of shoes.
Yep.
My idea is I'm gonna go to Payless, which, God forbid's out of business now. But if they weren't, I would spray them bitches right on the bottom and make a fortune. Like, why?
Well,
Yeah.
$1,600, Frank.
So this is the problem I have with that is you can't charge that much. Okay, this is made here in the U.S., right? So you tell me it's made here in the U.S., and if you told me this particular shirt, the material is sourced in the U.S., the shirt is made in the U.S., the screen printing is made in the U.S., shipped, like nothing leaves the U.S. And I'm like,
Right.
that's cool. You charge a premium for that? And you're like, no, it's the same price as our regular shirt. And then you tell me that a purse is made in China with the same shit that they're making for the dollar store,
Some
Right.
kids that are making 25 cents an hour.
and I don't find any value in that. Okay, one of the things that I thought was kind of cool was when BMW, what was the deal with Rolls-Royce? I think Volkswagen bought Rolls-Royce, but before they could buy it, BMW bought the name. so
Well done.
So Volkswagen couldn't even make a Rolls-Royce. They had all the equipment, they had everything, but
Volkswagen owns Bugatti.
but that's because the Rolls-Royce thing
Oh.
is went under. So BMW then moves it to its original location, and on a farm where they raise the cattle that lines the inside of the Rolls-Royce. So they're growing the leather. And so I was like, okay, I'm not saying it means it's worth $1 million, but now I'm intrigued. I'm like, now you're
It's
doing
worth
something.
more at that point.
It's worth more than
Right.
Because you see how much people are putting into their own product.
correct.
Did the Pope himself, bless these Louboutin shoes?
But that's what I'm getting at. Is that to me
Louboutins
is a
not, yeah.
waste. That's a complete waste because that is the same plastic leather shit. You feel those things. It's
I
like
have
that.
to admit, I fell in love with a pair of men's shoes in there. I've
But
looked them up like 6 times.
But that's
They
easy
sucked
to
you
do.
in.
yeah, they did.
With something that
but
you
I
like.
found them on China, not Wish, the other one.
DHgate.
DHgate. I found a pair on DHgate, but they can't ship right now. But when they can,
Of course they can't ship right now.
But you probably got to buy 25 pairs of them.
no, dude,
No,
I
just
bought
one?
Jordans off
Minimum
there. I
one?
bought Yeezys off there, one pair at a time.
So how does that work? Are those the actual shoes?
Oh,
just
they're for
not.
sure real and stolen.
That's crazy.
My Yeezys are 100%
Have you ever-
real.
Have you ever used that site? I've never.
So I've looked at DHgate for some different things, but I've never bought anything from
just
them.
always-
However, I did buy some stuff from Korea when I was stationed there.
North or south? Oh, it's south, obviously.
Yeah,
Never mind.
I'm still
You said station
I'm,
there.
I'm here.
Yeah, you're.
No,
Operation Paul Bunyan.
Hey, you know they don't have any Corona.
Well, because they're lying.
Well, they
They're
may
all
not
dead.
have Corona, but a really good
So we
friend of
find
mine,
everyone
a
is
really
fine.
good friend of mine right now was supposed to leave last Monday. Found out Sunday night that he was not allowed to leave until May. Had to wait all night to call his wife to tell her, who was moving
Hey,
that next morning
Don't pick me up from the
to
airport because
to,
I'm not going
to
be there.
from Florida to North Carolina.
Interesting.
So then she
Yeah.
had to move by herself.
Yeah,
her
she's
babies.
not very happy.
Oh,
It's
She's
got to be
texted.
I mean, it's got to be hard being a service member's wife, and
Oh, dude,
especially
that's
in situations
probably a
like
job that I
It's so
could never
nerve-wracking.
imagine.
It's
Let-
like
Especially whenever guys deploy and stuff, and they're back. That's.
You know what I always joke about though is, the whole grab her by the pussy thing. I'm
Yeah.
sure you're okay with that because you're married to one of these guys.
yeah.
That is the
Doesn't
weakest
fucking
shit
bother
they
me.
could ever think of saying.
I'm like, if somebody grabs me by the pussy, I'm gonna grab him by the balls and be like, "Come on, motherfucker, we can do this all day."
but it's like I hear shit from my friends that are ex-Marines, ex-Army, ex-whatever military.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like they're in church and that's just what they're saying at
Yes.
church.
It's like, hey, how's your pussy? Great.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
there's
Like
No,
there's
I
a
just think,
vulgarity
like,
that is a step
It
above.
is.
yeah,
It
that the
is.
wives are even exposed to it now. It's all just common. For
And the
her.
gay
It
talk
is.
is ridiculous.
It is.
Oh,
All,
yeah,
all
dude.
my military
Yeah.
friends all try to mess with me and like try to hump me because it really bothers me. I
Yeah.
don't like it.
Yeah,
And they're all like, "Let's just gangbang him in the middle," and it's like,
yeah,
dude, what is wrong with y'all?
yeah. None of
No.
us. Well, I can't say none of us, but the majority of us that talk like that are not at all.
And it's funny. Because,
But we
like,
are perfectly fine with our sexuality. I think that makes.
Oh,
it,
I know.
that
It's
just
the weirdest
makes it
shit in the
so
world. It's
fun
like-
it would come a point where like there were people,
do.
obviously like his guys he worked with or like in his unit that would come over. At first, it'd be very like respectful because they're like, "Oh, I don't want to make you mad. I'm so sorry." Like, and they would like, "Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am." I'm like, "You don't fucking got to do that shit with me. Like, let's cut the bullshit. I know that as soon as you leave this house, it's completely different. I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me." So then it like true colors started coming out, and then like here I am at 4 a.m. making breakfast burritos for a bunch of dudes about to get jump out of a plane, and then the next 3 weeks I was like, "Hey man, did your wife make those burritos this morning?" Like, fuck no, she slept in. Like, you don't get that all the time. I'm not getting my ass up, but it's a sense of like this family and like I just you got to be not offended because this is the humor that's there.
Let me see what you. I have a lot of friends that are in the service, and this is what I equate it to. It's like you're in prison, but you're not actually in prison, so you get the same brotherhood with all the freedoms.
Yeah, it's like.
But it's like there's some crazy shit that goes on because you can't just run off. Like you can't just get away from it.
Right.
You're still there. So in a way, it's almost like you're in a I signed up for this prison
Yeah,
with
pretty
people
much.
that didn't commit crimes.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Basically.
I'll give it that.
I mean, and you're just like, oh, that's fucking Carl, whatever.
With minus the
Move on.
gayness. Although lately there's been a little bit of gayness getting in there.
I think
Yeah.
that people, that whole locker room mentality thing. If
Dude.
you've never been in one, you don't get it.
Grab her by the vagina
Pussy.
is the least I heard in high school.
Well, but that's kind of what I'm getting at is, and it's like that is comforting to some people. Like that kind of talk. Do you, no, that kind of talk. So for example, like if I was on a road trip with Kevin, and we didn't say a bad word, like
See, that just shows. That
like
just
we-
showed his realness.
we couldn't.
Like, yeah, I don't.
and again, but again, what you say, I will say a lot of dumb shit to make people laugh, especially in a situation like this, because, and it's got nothing to do with, like, I don't want to, it's not about me lying to you or telling you things that aren't true. It's about, I want when you guys leave to think, that was a good time. I had fun. You know what I mean? It was whatever. Locker rooms are like that.
Yeah.
You know, you're like,
except for a lot more gayness,
but
and a lot more pissing on
which stems from like a masculinity thing. Like they're clearly not gay, but you know, I'll smack Kevin in the ass because it makes him feel uncomfortable, and that makes me happy.
Everybody does
I
that
just,
to me.
I think
But
a lot of
it makes me happy.
I think it more comes from women being offended about something, and it's funny because like,
But are they though?
but they are. They're all like, "Oh my god, he said that." I'm like,
Those
"Oh,
are the
like
ones
that's
that
the
just
first
really
time
need
you've
to get
ever
'em
heard
some.
that." And I'm just so tired of women trying to speak for other women and be like, "I'm so offended," and I'm okay with this toxic
You think it's
masculinity
mandatory that every woman should like 10 bar for a week?
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's probably where it came from because I was a bartender. And I worked
Because
at
Janet was a bartender and she's completely unfazed by that stuff.
and it doesn't bother me. And I learned how to like talk with people. And if you want to talk shit to me, I'm going to talk right back. And I think that surprises people. Like, oh, I thought you were going to be like really nice. And I'm
I'll
like,
do you
oh,
one
fuck
better and tell you that every person should serve 2 years in the military.
I
That's true,
agree.
too. I think that I think it's healthy for people to be like, experience that before you.
Let me let you in on the real secret. Women, when they talk with each other, are much more disgusting.
Women are
than we
gross.
are. They are gross as shit. And
Yeah, pretty much.
they will break a man down if they talk about each other.
Oh
I've
my God.
overheard my wife talking to her friends, and her friends are just like eating these guys up.
Oh, I don't think a guy could handle being a fly on the wall
No.
of listening
Somebody get
to.
the feelings hurt.
Oh my God.
Oh, if
I
some
would be
guy's,
destroyed.
anatomy happens to be just something just slightly off, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this motherfucker."
Well, not only that, no, you can. The anatomy could be off, but you better not piss her off
Yeah, because it will be pretend.
because that's coming up.
Women are so
So,
much meaner than we
here's-
are. So much meaner. I don't care what they say.
Back to what you said about making it mandatory that everybody should serve. That is something that honestly, I don't know that it eats at me. I
Ruined
think
the
about
show.
it
Now I
all
gotta
the
pee.
time.
You
Where
started it.
I'm like, I wish I would have.
Right.
You know, and again, in the same way that you said,
It's never too late.
2 years. Well, when I lost my job,
It's never too late.
like 6 months in, I was looking at army jobs.
Were you?
Yeah, I was. I thought, but my only problem is, and again, it's a cowardice thing on my point in that I'm not afraid of war. I don't think. I don't want to leave my family.
No, I don't think that's cowardice.
No,
I think
I
that's
just-
very smart. I mean, we had talked so much about before I got hurt because I was.
So he was
retired.
in before. We knew each other when we were in the 6th grade.
Okay.
We went to the dance together. We were the most fucking cutest couple ever. Flash forward to life and everything, and we finally see each other. He's already in the military, so
Okay.
I knew it going in.
Okay.
And he was like, "Listen, this is my life." And my dad was
I could
20 years
explain it to her
retired,
all
so.
day long, but I still don't think it was even with your dad too. I
But
don't think
and
it
that's the
was
thing
ever-
is like it doesn't matter if you have lived it, you were married to someone who is it. It's like when that happens and you get in a relationship with someone and they're gone. Like we got married in October. No, we got married in August. We got married in August. You left in October.
Right.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's
It was
Yeah.
like wham bam, you were gone,
yeah.
and that was it. And
End of August, left like October 10th or something.
Yeah.
Like that, something crazy.
and then he was gone, and I think that people were like, "Well, that's got to be hard. That's got to be terrible." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, it really sucked. It wasn't like I wanted that, but
Sure.
that was our life."
I mean, I'm
and
sure
we
you didn't
had
want
to-
that.
No,
Right,
no,
and it doesn't matter how many times he's done it before. It doesn't matter how many times he does it after that. It never got easier. I don't think that even the next time got easier. So I don't think that's a
Actually got
cowardly
harder,
thing to think
honestly.
of. It does. It
It's
does get
just-
harder as you have more kids.
It's different, right? If I didn't have kids now and I was going through that same situation, maybe things would have even been different because I wouldn't need the job as much as I do with having kids in a family, right? But the problem was I was sitting in school in 2001
Yep.
watching it happen in high school,
So
right?
we-
And all I could think of was, oh my God, like, I don't even think my little brain really digested what happened.
What grade were you in?
I was a sophomore.
Okay, so I was.
Maybe a junior. Maybe a junior.
I think I was in 7th grade.
So you have to realize. So I would have been guaranteed going. Right, because I would have been graduated in 03 and right off to war. So part of the conversation I had with my family was go to school, and if it's what you still want to do afterwards, then go, right? And then I had another friend who went, deployed right away.
Right.
And that's what kind of spooked them was like, and I get it.
Yeah.
Because now this is your parents. You're a 17-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid, and it's tough. Would I have gone? I don't know. That was a scary ass time to even think about it. You're like, okay, so if I go, I'm going to war. Like that's
pretty much.
That's what's happening.
03? Yeah.
Of course.
Pretty much.
Right?
Yeah, I don't think that I've met anybody that's been in since 01, 02, 03 that doesn't have a deployment patch on their sleeve.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like if you wouldn't have gone immediately, you'd have gone.
Well, it's not like I was going as like a professor. I wasn't going as like some sort
it
of an
wouldn't have mattered if you
engineer.
were infantry or a freaking cook. You'd have gone.
I was going.
So
that had a lot, like, and that was a lot of my family, who kind of, and they did it without really saying it, but they were really pushing me towards college, and I don't regret that because that's what happened,
Right.
But then I always think about it, man. I see a serviceman come home, or I see somebody, and I just think, I'm like, man, I wish I could relate, I wish I would have done it with you. I wish I would have been there with you or something like that. Just because I love my country, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love this country.
However, I'll be 31 in a couple weeks. My body is destroyed. So, can I say that I would have done it all the same? Probably not. But do I regret anything? I don't know. So I have no regrets, but I probably would have done things a little differently.
No regrets.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Like individual situations you'd have
Right.
done differently. That makes a lot of sense. Kevin, ice.
I have like a dozen in my
I need ice. Is there ice in there?
This cup has a nipple.
It does have a nipple. So that cup was made for a
Look at that.
ball of ice. So it rolls around.
Yeah.
But I lost the ball.
You bought it for the nipple.
He lost his balls
I lost my
when
ball.
he got married.
Oh, he's married. That's okay.
Yep.
You can.
Look out
Here,
for the
if you want.
snakes and lizards.
It smells like cotton candy, so
That sounds amazing.
it doesn't taste like it
wait-
at all.
1 second. Do you not want that on camera?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
I don't give a shit.
I
Look
gotta
at
check.
that thing.
Listen, the reason why I ask is because we have one of the best episodes ever that we can't air because it was a preacher's son,
And he licked his nipple.
and he was like licking his nipple,
my God.
trying to be funny to me, and he didn't realize I had switched the camera, so it was like on him as he's like trying to get his man tit in his mouth.
That was the night I couldn't even speak. I was so drunk.
That was a bad night. It was a great night.
That was Philadelphia #2. That's my litmus test. If I can say Philadelphia, I haven't drank.
Haitian
I go,
proclamation.
She's practiced.
I have.
Yeah.
I
Oh
get-
yeah. You can hear Kevin's brain reset when he's drinking
He's
too
like
much.
trying so
Because
hard.
he'll try to say something and then he stops and
I get so mad at myself.
he can't get
It's
the
like-
word out.
Even though I'm so drunk, I know I'm drunk, and it pisses me off that I can't say it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm drunk, I hear myself slurring my words.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
Did
It's
you
like, why is my brain not drunk?
did you see that
But my
thing where
mouth-
they were
Yes,
talking about people
Exactly.
don't have an internal dialogue with themselves? Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah.
But there's a
Do
thing
you,
where
do you guys have internal dialogue?
Yes.
thought I do.
All the time.
So like you can hear your own voice.
talking
yes,
to
I
you.
have
your
a
head.
friend.
So there
His
are
name's
people
Johnny.
in this world that do not
That's
have
different.
that.
That's
They
different.
just
Wait.
say what they don't think at all.
So what's
I don't know. I
normal?
don't know how that
is it
fucking works.
is it normal to have a
I
dialogue?
don't know.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
so
From what I've-
because
yes,
most
from
people
what
do
I've-
have it.
Because I talk to myself all day long
Oh,
in
yeah.
my head.
Yes, I
Right.
do too.
Right, but you hear your own voice. You hear yourself talking.
Sure, like
Yeah.
like if I wanted to say something
Yeah.
to you guys, even now I'm trying to
Like,
think 2 steps
pre-think it.
ahead. Like,
Yes.
does that sound
Right.
like?
Yes.
Does it sound like
But
I
there's
drool
people
on
that
myself?
These
don't
people
have
don't
that.
have that.
They have like
Which is-
thoughts that are in their head, so they just kind of like say them. They don't say it like I don't know.
weird
It's
would that
friggin'
be?
I'm like, how do you do that?
I think I've come across somebody like that, right? You had to have come across
Yeah,
somebody like
well,
that.
we have a friend. I have a friend. She said that
stupid shit.
she doesn't hear her own voice. It's just a voice. It's not her voice. And I'm like, who the
Friend is
fuck?
this? You don't have to say names.
That's weird.
It's
Here,
Mel.
well, here.
It's Melissa.
Okay, well, I mean, I took the camera away from you. You didn't have to say it into the
Oh,
microphone.
it's okay. I don't care. She's probably not watching. She doesn't live here.
No one watches this. We're good.
It's really funny. Somebody will comment on this like 6 months from now, like one person.
Like, why are they fucking talking about me?
What the fuck did you say about me?
No, but it's Tiff's sister. She posted the other day. We were talking about it, and she said, "I don't hear my own voice."
Oh, she
and
posted
I'm like,
it on Facebook.
Whose
It's
voice
open
do you
news.
hear?
It's okay.
Johnny Depp.
You know what's
What
weird?
if your own
That'd be
voice in your
awesome.
head was like
Bro.
like something weird?
I sound
Kevin
way
Hart.
cooler
Like,
in
I
my
sound
own
like
head.
Kevin Hart in my head.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
so you know.
I can emulate anybody's voice in my own head.
Exactly,
Like I can
but
talk
like,
to
you can't
myself.
just sound like that
So
with
back
that.
to like favorite comedians, right?
Right.
I love people that can do impersonations.
I love it too.
So Frank Caliendo,
Yeah.
probably one of my top threes.
I love listening to him.
yeah,
When I look at him, it's kind of like a mind fuck.
See,
Yeah.
what you gotta do?
yeah, I
Because
see that.
it takes a little off of his voice to me.
Right.
Because you're like, I can see him forming those. But I listen to
John
him.
Madden's
Listen to him,
amazing.
John Madden. I think I'm listening to John
I
Madden.
listened to him on a podcast
know what I mean?
where he was John Madden the whole time.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
That was amazing. And I love his, who's the other guy? The
He does a
football
good-
coach.
he does.
Gruden. He does Gruden.
Does he?
Oh my God, he does a good Gruden.
He does. What's the other one that he does really well?
And so I'm doing
He does a lot.
Caliendo. I'm doing Caliendo
It's like you
doing
can
Gruden
definitely-
in
yeah,
my
I
head.
can do it in my own head.
It does
There's
not
certain
come
times,
out
like,
that way.
Whenever it comes out, I
listen to a
sound
song
fucking
and I can
retarded.
hear the song of
For
the person
sure.
singing it in my head, and it's weird that people
Oh.
don't have that.
I can sing anybody's song in my
Exactly.
head.
And I sound
perfectly.
amazing.
That sounds fucking
How long did y'all
phenomenal.
say the longest show was?
3.5 hours.
Consecutively?
We're at 2.
We got a while yet.
Now,
I mean, I'm here as long as y'all want.
I was
you
hammered
guys-
by the end of that one. I was just sitting there like this.
if you got to go, go.
Oh no, we're.
Absolutely fine.
I'm good.
This is fun. I'm just glad you guys are here.
I'm glad we
I'm-
started on time for the first time in like a year.
It's because we're here.
It's because they're
It's not even that late,
It's because they're here. I was trying to be respectful, but
so he didn't respect me at all. is what
I
he's
never
saying.
do.
Well,
You got no respect.
I never do.
Respect, put some respect
no
on my
respect
name.
at all. See, I say that in my own mind
It
perfectly,
sounds-
like Rodney
and it sounds-
Dangerfield. But
well, see, I
then-
had that problem like when we were talking about. I don't remember what we were doing, and it came out. We were trying to say something Irish, and it did not come out like that. And I'm like, oh, that sounds.
What was the movie I Love You Man? You always sound Jamaican.
Yes,
Yes.
that was
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
I love listening to comedians' podcasts because they're not a rehearsed show.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're watching a comedian special, they recorded that like 4 times.
Two bears,
Right.
one
And they,
cave.
they picked all the best stuff.
Yeah.
Two Bears, one. Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. Okay,
I've seen Tom Segura.
Tom Segura cracks me up.
You haven't seen
I love
Bert
him.
Kreischer?
Tom
think
Segura
so.
does an entire bit, not entire bit, like an entire hour or whatever it is
Russian
in
mob?
Spanish.
Really?
Because Tom Segura is actually
Yeah,
like
Segura's
Cuban.
the Russian mobster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no. That's
Not
Bert
Mobster.
Kreischer.
That is Bert Kreischer.
That's Bert Kreischer.
Okay, so the machine.
The
machine.
shirtless machine.
That's why I know him as the machine.
So
Okay.
the Machine and Tom Segura have their own podcast. I love when comedians they're not, none of them do impressions, right? But they'll try to do an impression of somebody doing something, and it's
Screwed up.
fucking hilarious because it's not really good,
Right.
but you know what they're trying to do. So it's like, who does like the Irish one? He's like, you sound like the Lucky Charms guy. But they'll do these skits, and they're like, that's not Irish at all. That's like British. Like, what
yeah,
the hell is
that's
wrong?
what mine is. It always comes out the wrong one. But I like watching comedians and they lose themselves in their own jokes and
Sure.
they get like way out there and they're like laughing. And they're like, I can't even finish.
Mitch
I can't.
Hedberg.
That's Mitch
Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, 100% Mitch Hedberg.
Oh, you would love him.
Yeah.
You really
have to
would.
listen
We're gonna listen to him on the way home.
You really would.
Um,
But there's comedians that'll say they're like, yeah, you know, they're like, I didn't even want to, but then I tried something, and they keep it going, and then they'll be like, you guys aren't ready for that yet.
Who's
It's-
the guy who did Super High Me? Who's that guy?
I know who you're talking about.
I laid there and watched that documentary the other night and I laughed so hard. I was like, dude, this guy's hilarious.
Super high me?
Yeah, have you not seen that?
I have not seen
He
that.
doesn't smoke weed for 30 days and then
Oh,
spends
God.
30 days smoking weed 24/7.
Oh my god,
And he is a comedian and it is hilarious.
that is awesome.
He's like does all these stupid
Doug Benson.
Doug Benson.
Okay,
It's hilarious.
I gotta check that out. All right, so one thing we like to do with guests is Netflix.
Yep.
What make a Netflix recommendation? What are you watching right now on Netflix?
Oh God.
Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
I already watched all of
actually
that
watched
season.
Did you
I
really?
did.
Is it on
I
Netflix?
love
Yeah,
it.
it was meant to
She
be a
sucked
joke.
me in and watched them, and I
Oh,
was
she
They're
sucked you in.
they're They're actually not terrible shows.
Hey,
Are
for
they
that, I would
different?
watch
Is it
any-
different than it used to be when it was on air?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
it's way.
Yeah.
Jonathan is my favorite.
They're funny. I mean, they're
I've never watched it.
Oh, it's
I
hilarious.
caught it a
funny.
couple times
They're
on
funny.
air. They were funny.
They're super funny.
Look, I don't judge, right? If it's not coming near my ass, we're fine.
Yeah.
But
Ugh.
I'm at the point in my life where it's like I don't really care. Like it's, I grew up in the North
Well,
Carolina.
gay guys aren't trying to penetrate you.
Oh, I know that, but like, I've made it very
fair point.
Yeah.
okay. We'll talk about lesbians
you're like
because
the
I've
least
been hit on
threatened
by a
individual in
lesbian
this
a
room.
couple times. We went to Wilmington. We went to
Did you get a drink out of it?
no. She was
Before
like,
she
"Hey girl,
tells you the
what's up?"
story,
And I'm
I
like,
just
"Nope."
want to point out the
I'm good.
fact that yesterday she said that the only carpet she likes is on her feet.
Her or
on
somebody
or on
talking
her
to her?
floors.
Somebody
so,
asked me a question. Somebody said something about me.
So now you can continue.
Somebody said something shitty to me. Adam was talking shit to me, our friend.
Go figure.
And he's like, I don't know what he said. He said something about me being a lesbian. I'm like, listen, the only carpet that I like is on my feet. Okay? Like, I'm
She likes
good.
them
I
both.
don't even like carpet. It
I
drives
mean, I
me
like
nuts.
hardwood.
Either.
Real hand scraped hardwood.
I don't even know where to go with this conversation.
Check, please.
I'm a little uneasy. I gotta admit.
You just gotta grab her by the pussy. Okay?
Jeez.
I would. Good God. I would love for
Now
somebody.
she's getting the real show.
I seriously would just love That's the other thing too is you can't say something these days without somebody like thinking you're serious. I mean, imagine.
Wait, I just pause and hold the thought. He's winding up right now to do the offensive pitch.
I'm trying not to.
I feel it coming. We're about to get knocked
So-
off YouTube.
I would love.
Fuck your feelings.
I would love to be in a situation where somebody hires you for a serious public speaking, and you're talking to kids about to graduate college, and you're like, "Look, the world is in front of you. You just got to grab it by the pussy."
See? I knew it was coming. I know when it's coming.
Good God! But
I
yeah,
just, honestly, I
Do I not
kinda
know him?
But I feel like that would stick with kids so well.
It
Like
sticks
especially
with me.
right, especially if you're talking about high school or college kids,
Yeah.
they would be like, "You remember that lady that said grab life by the pussy?"
Right.
That's what I'm gonna do.
She's
Okay,
a goddamn genius.
but in some
She
people's
fucking
mind,
lied.
I just told 300 hormone rage kids to just run around diddling girls all over the place. When really,
It's like a
you tell me, and I'm like, yes, grab. Okay, where's PETA? About grabbing the bull by the damn horns. That's what I'm getting at. It's
Yeah.
the same damn thing. Grab
Yes.
the world. Everybody, I'm making a fucking post about this.
PSA.
PSA. Look at my face right now. OG fans, grab the world by the pussy.
Grab it.
I'm just saying, I'm
And
so
hold on
tired of
tight.
these. I'm so tired of these half-hearted bullshit. Like, oh, you can be anything you want to be. Like, well, you can't.
You can't.
You can't be a fucking
No.
superhero. You can't if you got shitty grades. You
Listen,
can't go be
I
a doctor.
can't be a supermodel.
I'm just saying. I think that they need to start having
I
more
think you
real
can.
conversations with our kids and being like, you know what? Go be a fucking welder or go be an AC guy because guess what? They make money too.
So
Yeah.
I think you're pretty, Kevin.
my son cracks me up. My son says he wants to be on a card, like a baseball card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? So what's on baseball cards? I mean, they make Pokemon, right? So think about that whole range of cards.
Hey, let's
Right.
be honest though. There's a real shot because the mascots are on cards too.
Right, but that's kind of
I
his
could
point.
be on one.
So he goes, "Well, I'm not a superhero. Like I'd know already. This is my 5-year-old. He's like, I'm not a superhero, so I can't be on a card." So he's like, "All right, I'm gonna get really good at baseball." No, I'm sorry. He wanted to be an action figure, right? He wanted to be an action figure because I'm not a superhero, so I can't be an action figure that way. So I'm gonna get really, really good at baseball. I'm gonna make the Yankees. They're gonna make me into an action figure, and then I'm done.
Easy enough.
And I'm like, okay,
This
now,
kid made it to the Yankees.
no, this is my son.
And he just wants to be.
He just wants to be an action figure.
It's like, fuck you,
he,
baseball
just,
player.
he just wants to be an
I don't
action
even
figure.
care.
Like, I'm
What
on the
is it?
best team known to man ever.
Almost any sport.
Just make me an action.
Just make me an action figure, and then we're good.
I feel
So-
like the action figure I could be is the dumpster pail kids. Remember them?
Yeah,
The booger one.
you could be the booger.
Yeah.
Y'all are
but-
obviously older than I am.
But my
You don't know about them?
No.
Do you know about?
They're like the Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yes, but nasty.
The nasty ones.
So, but my thought, to agree with you, obviously, I'm not telling my son you're gonna go be a Yankee,
Right.
right? But what's the worst thing that's gonna happen for him trying to be a Yankee?
He's going to fail.
He
That's
becomes
it.
a
That's it.
Yankee.
And he's like, well, I tried hard, and that's it.
He makes
Right.
it to the Red Sox.
Yeah, right. So what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? He's gonna learn how to be on a team.
Right.
He's gonna
Or
learn
the Tampa Bay
structure.
Rays. I mean,
Right.
if you're really
You
gonna
know,
fall
that's
lower.
so I'm like, you know what? Go for it. Be a
Well,
Yankee.
I'm
Be
pretty
an
sure
action
One
figure.
of our kids was like, I just really want to be, I want to grow up and I want to be a pizza delivery guy. I'm like, you know what? You can
I
do
I
what
did that.
you do
I am your
whatever
kid's
you want
goal.
to do. You live your.
Yeah, me and Frank. That's
I
how we
was like,
met.
just live
Do
your
you know
life,
that? Yeah,
man.
we're
Really?
pizza delivery guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what I
Frank was the veteran. He taught me. They're like, you're with Frank today.
did I really?
So
I was there. I couldn't have been there
And I
much
was like,
longer
here's
before you.
this asshole.
Here's a
He's
question.
a pizza delivery guy.
how does it make you feel in your life to be the teacher pizza delivery guy?
He was mine.
Thought it was awesome because he's older than me.
Listen, I was the teacher of the waitress at the restaurant. Okay, like
No.
we can get lower than the pizza
Yeah,
guy.
you have to realize though.
I've-
You have to realize though. I was in college, so teaching Kevin was like
Which is way out there.
was
But he
like
in college.
this is what you can get away with here.
okay.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So
Go
it's
ahead.
like this is what we do. There was one time where they were doing construction somewhere in the parking lot. We both got flat tires on the same night, and we're the only two delivery
We had the
guys.
coolest delivery cars ever.
Do you remember that?
One of them, at least one of them, was a Honda Civic.
Yes, it was. His. It was
Honda
an SI.
Civic Si. That was the one with the
Exactly.
shifter like in the dash.
Hatchback.
Little hatchback.
And you would never guess.
My brother
my
had
car.
used to have one of those.
You never guess
hatchbacks.
what the next one was.
Yeah, mine. You'll never. If you guess it, I'll give you $1,000.
Pinto.
Oh, okay. No,
Dodge Dart.
no. This is awesome. This what was
Total other direction.
Okay.
I had a fully loaded Cadillac DeVille DTS,
Oh my god!
newer model.
Look at you, Mr. Fancy.
Oh, with 412s, screens that went.
Oh,
like,
it was-
I had screens in it.
It
with
was
a
like
PlayStation.
gangster, yeah. And
I
that's
went-
what he would deliver pizzas
with
in.
20.
What year was this? What year was
With
this?
20s. I
This had
pulled
to be
up-
what 2005.
Yeah, and it was a 2003.
Oh my
I
God.
seriously would pull. I pulled up to this one guy's house, and he's outside, and I hand him his pizza, and he goes, "God damn, how much pizza delivery boys making these days?"
Yeah.
He's
So
like, "You selling drugs, brother?" And I'm like, "No."
So I was stupid when I was 17, 18 years old. My dad bought
Well, we
me.
all were.
Yeah. My
But
dad.
your dad's probably listening, so.
That's okay. My dad bought me a 70
Shout out, by the way.
Yeah, Dan Leland. He's our embroiderer.
Yeah.
Go look him up, DanSonicaEmbroidery.com. He bought me a 78 25th anniversary Corvette for graduation.
That's a Stingray.
It was not a Stingray, no. It was a
It still had the look, though, right?
yeah, I mean, it still had the look, but it was the fiberglass bumpers and all that good stuff, silver and black. Should have kept the car.
Yo, for sure.
Said,
So,
should I have the car?
I somehow talked him into saying, "Hey, Dad, I'm gonna sell this Corvette, and I'm gonna take all this money and put it into this 1993 Mitsubishi Eclipse that I have."
Oh, fuck off. Really?
My glasses?
Who, me?
So,
Yeah.
No, these are mine.
Couldn't if I'm squinting and I'm looking over and you're
I
wearing
saw yours
glasses.
earlier somewhere.
Yeah, but they're over here now. Anyway, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
you.
you're good. So I ended up having the motor rebuilt in this thing, and I put an Xbox.
Was
or a
this
PlayStation
during
or something.
Fast and the Furious?
Probably sometime in that era.
He was so
I
lame.
was probably.
I
this
had
was,
purple.
This was right out of
neons.
high school, so it was probably
Yeah.
07, 08,
Yeah.
somewhere in that time frame. Yeah. So if you're listening, Dad, I am sorry that I did that. That was stupid.
So my my car that I'm still not upset
He okayed
about
it,
till
for the
this
record.
day is I grew up in a well-to-do family, but I still worked because my dad would like get me the car, but would not get me the shit to go in the car. So
Yeah.
I would work to get my cool
Right.
shit in the car. And
Absolutely.
at the time, a big thing was neons, strobes, speakers. Like that was a big deal, right?
A dunk.
Super sweet.
Yeah. So I had a brand new Chevy S10 Extreme. If you remember those, they were lowered out of factory.
Uh huh.
They looked like race trucks. Dude, this truck to me to this day is still my favorite truck. My wife says I'm gay for having it, but it had purple neons.
just offended
I had
somebody.
strobes all over
It's
it.
2020, bro. Nobody judges.
Yeah, I had
We think you're cool.
I had 4,000 watts worth of sound system in that sucker. Oh, dude. The windshield cracked like 3 times.
Was this just like the regular ass single cab?
It was a extended cab.
Was it extended cab?
But that was back in the day, was when the extended cab was like this.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
couldn't sit back there.
Yeah.
The bench
dude-
seat came out of like the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. It did. It did that fold down.
All I
thing.
can think of is the
Yeah.
Tacomas.
Yes,
the Tacoma is a
exactly.
side fold.
Yeah.
Rangers had that too,
Well, I
right?
have a
Yeah, some of the
D21
Rangers have
Nissan.
Basically, it was
That's
just
what it
they
does.
just gave you like a small window.
Yeah, with a seat belt that wasn't gonna do shit.
The
for
door
you.
didn't even really
No.
open, right? You still had to go through the front door.
One of them did. So
My dad has one.
No,
Yeah,
mine
you-
didn't even have one.
yours didn't even have
No.
one door.
So you're supposed to just lean forward.
So hers, I think her dad's driver's side door opens, the one that he uses for work. I think the driver's
So
side
one door
opens.
open, kind of like the way
Yes.
the Crew Maxes do now, right? Where
Right.
they
Yeah.
open and then open out like that.
Right.
But just one.
My
That's
kids
awesome.
love riding in the seat in my dad's truck too. I'm like,
Oh,
this
it's
is
cool.
like the most unsafe seat.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
for
nice
sure.
for little kids. They love
This
it.
is amazing.
Oh, but
Oh,
because it's different.
dude,
It's like
yeah.
riding an airplane. You know,
Yeah.
it's different.
My kids absolutely love. I bought listen to this deal. I went and bought a golf cart and a Nissan D21 hardbody for $1,000. The running golf cart and the truck is fine.
What year?
The golf cart or the D21?
Both.
94 D21 with
Do you that
114,000
Canadian just come out
miles.
both?
Both,
Yeah.
both, eh?
114,000 miles, and it is pristine. Original owner. XE, everything.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. The kids, they get in that thing in the back. My wife hates when I drive it.
Oh, for sure.
They
For
love
sure.
it.
See, I would spend $1,000 just to do something like that to piss her off.
Oh, and the golf cart, I lifted it, and I put rock lights on it, so it, like, does this strobe thing, and it's
Oh,
so ridiculous.
My
Oh, yeah.
kids are so mad. I had
Absolutely
such a
the
nice
best.
truck. I had a 2017 Tundra, fully loaded, back when I was making money working, and a brand new 0% interest. Good God, I miss that thing. But now I've got that 2004 Runner out there.
It's the best truck ever. I had one, too. I
Paid
didn't buy
$1,100 for it.
Dude, my stepbrother had a 4Runner, and that thing went until he didn't let it go anymore. That was
I
a
sold mine for
That
more
was a
than I
hell of a
bought
truck,
it.
dude. We took that thing mudding one time, and it never got stuck. Like
No,
we saw
he-
Wranglers stuck, we saw big ass trucks stuck. His 4Runner never got stuck.
4Runners are awesome, man.
Let
I
me
love
tell you
them.
how much I hate Wranglers. So,
I used to have one.
Wrangler people
I
and
used to have
4Runner
one.
people-
We're so
Yeah.
intrigued.
I love one.
Yeah, you need to hear this. So Wrangler people and 4Runner people hate each other. So I had
Yes.
a 99 4Runner, and I had it lifted on 35s, and like everything done to it. And I wasn't paying attention because I may or may not have been drinking, driving through the woods, and I got stuck. And so I
Walking through the woods. Is what
Yeah.
he said.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a come along, like a high lift jack that you can use as a come along to, get it out. Wrangler pulls up next to me and my best friend Jeff, the one where dresses earlier, and they're like, "Hey, you need help out?" And I look at him, I go, "Not from you, you faggots." And they took off, and I seriously spent 2 hours trying to get out of that hole when they could have
Yeah.
easily pulled me out. But I sure as shit
Was
wasn't
not
getting
letting
pulled out by a
Wrangler
Jeep.
Pull him out.
Hell no.
That's fair.
But we got out.
So I had.
Now he totally matches.
I know, as I say, it matches very well.
Appreciate it. I had a 2012 Wrangler that I brought out here. This is oh my God. My wife tells this story spectacular because she's on the other end of this whole thing. So it's like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I just put an LED light bar on. I want to see what it looked like out in the dark.
That gives it more horsepower, by the way.
A lot more
At
horsepower.
least
So-
20.
I go out in the woods. I get stuck. Next
No,
thing
you don't get stuck.
I sunk it.
He gets stuck like he set it in concrete.
I will try to find pictures, but I had to take the key out of the ignition because everything was shorting out.
my God.
There was water up to the steering wheel, and I was
Oh my
still trying to
God.
listen to the radio. So anyway, I'm sinking out there, and we had to do something the next day. So I said, "You probably have to get somebody to watch the kids. I'm sleeping out here because I'm not leaving my Jeep. I leave my Jeep out there, it'll be in pieces around here.
Right.
Somebody's going to rip it apart." So I'm out there. The next day around like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have pictures. This is amazing. We had Jeep community now, by the way.
Yes, that's a real thing.
SOS post. Next thing you know, there's
Yes.
12 Jeeps out there to get me.
It's like
Right?
it's what they live for.
They live for this.
We had a Jeep, and it was like, yes.
Oh, couldn't wait.
Do you want me to pull you out?
I
somewhere?
would literally go to sleep with the radio on so I can hear somebody asking for help.
Yeah,
Just jump in the Jeep and go.
Right.
Right? Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of fun.
it is.
It's a lot of fun.
Especially when it snows
So-
where we are from, because everybody's like, fuck yes.
I had
this
3
is our
Jeeps.
moment, guys.
I had 3 Jeeps winched up to me, and 3 more behind them daisy chained. Right? So they
You
all
were coming out.
Oh, they all pick me up. You can see my Jeep just starts lifting straight up, not coming back because I'm sunk. It lifts straight up in here.
Like some Harry Potter shit.
Well, it just popped. Like the suction popped, and all of a sudden my Jeep comes flying out.
Oh, God.
Open my doors, and for the next 10 minutes, there's video of it. Just water just pouring out of my Jeep. And you can hear everyone's like, oh, that thing's fucked. So
Oh,
they,
my God.
this is the coolest thing, though. They towed it to somebody's house. They literally took half my engine apart, most of my Jeep apart, cleaned it, dried it, replaced stuff. They even helped me fix. They had a spare starter,
Yeah.
replaced my starter. And not only that, so I said, you know what? I was making money at the
If
time.
it was a 4Runner, it just drove off.
It just drove off. But the cool thing though was one of the wives there was like, "Hey, I'm gonna run to the grocery store." I said, "You know what? Can I ride with you?" And I bought a whole bunch of shit. And we just barbecued and had a great time.
Yeah.
Still friends with these people today.
Oh yeah.
But why did it take 6 Jeeps to pull me out?
Because there wasn't 2 4Runners there.
So
Because the Forerunner guys are assholes.
Yes,
Somebody-
we fucking are.
they are. It
But they
may,
are a better car now that you own one.
They're nice. So
See?
I had somebody.
They didn't say they were better.
I didn't say they're better. They're nice.
They're
So
nice.
I had somebody try to pull me out with a newer Dodge. By the way, I'm not a fan. Dodges?
No.
I'm sorry. I'm
But
just saying
you
it
know
right
my
there.
4Runner was bad as shit.
I'm not a fan of Dodges. So he's trying to pull me out of this hole that 6 Jeeps pulled me out of. And as he's pulling me out, all of a sudden I hear a pop, and the buckle from the strap comes flying past my window.
Oh, my God.
Like my head's sticking out here. It comes flying past my window, hits my side mirror, and explodes.
And guess who it was?
Oh, no.
Dresses.
It was Jeff Murray.
Yeah.
So what was he driving then? Was it a Dodge?
2500 Dodge.
Okay. So he's now pissed off because I ripped his bumper off. The whole fucking bumper was ripped off.
No. That was Matt's friend in the D21 4x4.
Okay.
That was Billy.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So then that guy was like basically like, fuck you, and left me.
I mean, that's fair.
I was all by myself.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I can say that people who drive Jeeps, and they will help you no matter what. And
Oh.
if you break their shit, like, it's all right, man. I'll fix it later.
They
We'll have a great time
fucking
fixing it.
live
It
for
is
it.
a
They do.
family for
They
sure.
live for
I'm
it.
telling you, when it ices, when there's like a half an inch back, like where we grew up at, you can see all their Facebook like, let us know, we're out
They
here.
can't wait.
They can't.
They can't wait.
They're
You know why? Because they spent $600 for a fucking plow and they want to use it. Because don't get.
Yes.
I made money and I was so fucking broke because of that Jeep. Every month it was like something else, either
Yeah.
something breaking or
But if
upgrading
he
something.
had a 4Runner. Listen,
He would
I
be
only
a guy
got
with a Forerunner, not a guy with a Jeep.
I'm not gonna lie. If like, we have to think of it though. If I would have bought a 4Runner of like equal year, first off, I don't think I like the 12. I like the next one.
I don't
4Runners.
know when
The
butter
newest
changed.
4Runner. The newest 4Runner is pretty nice.
Oh, okay.
It's sharp looking, but I
Yeah.
would be a mall crawler. I wouldn't want to tear that thing up.
Oh, I would.
I'd probably have payments.
care.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's like those
What's your favorite car you ever had?
favorite car I've ever had.
Don't tell me it was that Eclipse. You
no, it was that Corvette.
It wasn't the
It was
Corvette
the
either.
Corvette that I drove the shit
No.
out of.
So I did have another one. I had an '02 Corvette that was
Ooh.
pretty fun. My favorite car, I had a 90, it was 93 or 94 Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4 twin turbo all-wheel drive car.
nice. That was the predecessor to the Starion. Do you remember the Starion?
Starion. No,
So
I don't.
look, the 3000 GT was the after model of the Starion, and the Starion was introduced because of the
Was Starion Japanese only though?
954 Porsche. It was in direct competition with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was the Starion Japanese only though? I felt like it was
Mitsubishi.
Japanese only.
Yeah.
No, I meant like it wasn't
What
available
happened
here.
to Mitsubishi?
They're
They
still
were
around.
good. No,
I
it
know. I had a
sucked.
friend who had
yeah.
a truck, and we called it the Mr. Bitchin'.
I know
Mr.
somebody who has like a newer, like I'm not joking, like a 2018 Mitsubishi.
Yeah, they still make them.
SUV.
They're just
It's like nobody gives a
not
shit.
really competing.
They're not the same.
But that was definitely.
Do you remember
by
the
far the
Mitsubishi
thinnest car.
Galant? Do you remember that? The Galant was like the
My
Accord.
stepsister had one of
Mhm.
those and destroyed it.
You know what my favorite car
Didn't
was?
hold up very well in wreck.
No, they were.
My friend used to have a Saturn, and remember the Saturn
Oh,
had
yeah.
the dentless doors?
Yeah, I used to hit them with golf
drive
balls.
around and freaking hit people's freaking mailboxes and all sorts of shit with that thing. Wouldn't even hurt it.
That wasn't a hoax. How'd they
No.
not dent?
We couldn't dent it. We
Huh.
cracked one, but we didn't dent it.
Oh yeah.
And then my other buddy had Ford did the Taurus. They did an SHO edition, which was actually a Yamaha engine that was like built by them. This motherfucker had 500 horsepower in a Taurus.
Good God.
We burnt the wheels off that grandma mobile. It was great.
Have y'all seen people putting these? What the hell?
What the hell, Will?
Those newer GTOs. They're
Oh,
putting those
yeah.
GTO engines in the Chevrolet. Damn it! What the hell are those things?
I don't know why you're
Those
looking at me.
stupid-looking hatchback cars. Cruises?
Oh, the
Is it
yeah.
the Cruise?
Volt.
HHR.
No. I think it's the Cruise. I think it's the Chevy Cruise.
Oh no, we'll look
Google
it up.
You can't be stupid with Google
They're
anymore.
putting these GTO engines in these Cruises.
Well.
Hold on.
on.
Looking it up. No, hold on. I'm looking it up.
No dead air here.
Like,
No.
please pause while they Google things.
No,
That's
you
what I
guys
always said that-
continue.
I've always
Continue.
said that you can't be stupid anymore because you can Google anything.
So,
It might not be
These
completely
things?
right.
Yes.
what is it?
What is that?
Cruise, Chevy Cruise.
Man, that thing's ugly.
Yeah,
So stupid.
I can see that though with a big old engine.
I'm going to give you my list of the cars I've owned, and then I want you to give yours.
I don't remember mine.
My first
I've had
car
too
was
many.
a 1970 Volkswagen Beetle. My second car was a Infiniti J30. My third car was a Chevy S10 Extreme. My fourth car was a Explorer Sport Track. Jesus, I've had a lot of cars. Then after that was my my Cadillac. Then I had a Ford the Escape. Jesus Christ, I've had like 12 cars.
Yeah.
Let's not start that list on our side.
Let's hear
You
it.
too?
Us
Bro,
together.
I'd literally have to get a piece of paper.
It would be
and a pencil.
forever.
Yeah, I'd probably have to
It's
as well.
a lot.
Yeah, I've had a lot.
My first car was a 1997 Sunfire.
My first car was.
I
Oh,
hated that
man.
car.
First car
I
was
ripped
a
the
2000
transmission out of that
Chevy
car
Silverado.
twice.
That's a Pontiac, right?
Yeah,
What was
that's,
that
Yeah.
Sunfire?
that's a queer velour with the
Yeah, it's
Pontiac
horrible.
version.
It's horrible. And then he had that 02 Corvette, but he got it in June? It was like June or July.
Was
And
the
then he
O2
deployed-
was
I
that a
literally-
C5 or a C4?
I'm sorry.
The O2 was it a C5 or a C4? Banana body or box body?
Box, but
Oh, the one that did not have a ton of horsepower.
no, this one wasn't even a damn. This is like a base model.
Yeah. So he
It's
got
still
that
fast.
in June or July, and then he deployed in October.
Oh.
And then I worked in Charlotte. And they're like, damn, how much money are you making? And I'm like, I mean, I make a lot, but I'm not making that much.
So that new C8 Vet, shit.
Yes.
If they come out with a Lingerfelter edition, I might have to buy it.
I will never drive a rear engine Corvette.
No.
Mid engine. Get it
Not
right.
in the fucking right location, engine.
Are you really? are you really that like?
Dude, I don't. I feel like they're trying to go too Ferrari-ish on that car.
It's very Ferrari.
I don't like
I
the
just
ones
don't
without the
That's a
lift
sexy
lights, like
bitch,
the
though,
ones
for
that come up.
60 grand.
So-
The flat
so
lights.
my
I like the ones that
60
come up.
grand?
That
Yeah.
it's a
There's
Corvette.
no way
That's what
those
I think
cars are
of.
starting at 60.
That was like
grand.
what, 90s?
60.
Yeah.
Like the
Man.
very
I love
base
those.
model. Like
59.9. Yeah.
no shit.
Yeah.
That's probably not terrible. Apparently, I heard the other day that Camaro is going to start doing the same thing. They're going to start doing the same thing with the Camaro.
You know how I know somebody's gay?
Their
They
boyfriend
drive a
told you?
Camaro. That
I
too.
used to have a Z. I used to have a Z.
Did you ever get a shirt
Z28
size?
Camaro.
Z28 Camaro.
Did you ever get a shirt size
The
from
new
JT?
Camaro. What?
Did you ever get a shirt size from
Extra large.
extra
The
large?
only thing
He's
I remember
tall.
about your Camaro is we
He
ran
is
out of
tall.
gas.
All right.
Yes, my
Remember
Camaro
that
did
though,
run out
so we
of
don't
gas.
don't
Yeah.
forget.
My
Yeah.
dream car is a Dodge Viper. I want
Yep.
probably like a 2001, 2002. Dodge
I
That's
like
the
it.
banana body. See, I like
Yep.
like the 2014.
No, I like the curve. I don't like the square.
I don't like the new ones, man. The new ones just don't do it.
Dodge Viper. The Dodge Viper is very deceiving because when you see it in person, it's a lot smaller than you think with just a huge ass front end.
It's a truck engine.
It's a V12. I mean,
It's gorgeous, but it's a lot smaller. It was just a lot smaller.
It's like a glorified Miata.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, it's like a Miata, but just
Yeah.
like twice as wide.
there's the door.
My
Go
favorite car, because I'm not all about speed, and I like comfort.
Right.
Hence the Cadillac DeVille.
Right.
But I absolutely love the Maseratis. All
Yeah.
of them.
They're pretty sharp looking.
Yeah.
Kevin makes fun of me. I want one of those damn, what do you call the buses that I want?
Buses,
The
bus?
Mercedes things?
not G-Wagon.
A G-Wagon?
No.
G-Wagon's my... Okay, you want to talk about let's get expensive? G-Wagon is my dream car. Like,
Really? But
Oh.
why?
but I don't want the brand new G-Wagons. There's like a certain year that I like. But I don't know.
Because you're in love with Post Malone and he sings G-Wagon,
No.
G-Wagon.
Nope. I don't think so. I just liked... Because I think I could fit all my kids in my G-Wagon, but it would still be super cool. I'd be like the cool mom on the
You
block.
wouldn't be able to get the dogs in though.
But we couldn't get the dogs in. But if I could have a car that we are definitely going to have before I die, is I really want like a 55,
Oh, there it is.
56
Now
Ford
you're talking.
truck.
Really? I like that.
Fully restored. I want it cherry red with
with the
black
Chevrolet
interior and a
I
wood
want a
bed.
69 Mustang Mach.
So,
With a Chevy engine.
all right,
With
you
the
guys can make fun of me
Oh,
if you want.
Shut your mouth.
You can make fun of me if you want, but I love the idea, the resto mod idea. I love the idea of having an old truck, but with some newer components.
Yep.
Like
Absolutely.
good
You
brakes.
should go to Meekum. They have a ton of those.
No, but a lot of people are like, no, you can't do that. But I'm like,
I
no,
want
I
my-
want to
it to look
drive it.
classic, but drive better
Yeah,
now.
I wanna-
because
I
we
would
made
drive the
advances in this
fuck out
world.
of that.
Let's
So,
use them.
so me and my dad had bought. Well,
They're advances.
I say me and my dad had bought. My dad had bought a '55 F100 that we were going to completely restore for me to take to like senior prom or something, which I never ended up going because I was racing on prom nights. But we ended up never getting around to doing the whole thing. But he boxed in the entire frame on it, and then he was gonna put the Mustang 2 suspension on it.
Yeah.
and put a-
That's the worst Mustang ever made.
That's what I
yeah,
want.
but the suspension was great, especially
Yeah,
for
but
older
the
trucks.
looks
That
were
thing?
terrible.
The Mercedes Sprinter.
That's
I mean, I
your,
think
that's your dream
that's
car.
your dream car.
Rape Van 2.0.
I want that thing so
You
bad.
might as well
Yeah,
just
dude,
get like
you
a.
just fill that thing with candy and
You can do anything
And
you
one of
want
them
in that
fish
thing.
just
bowl
go ahead.
windows.
Just go ahead and turn yourself into the
So-
police station.
The reason why I like that is because we did a we did a relay in an RV. Did a bunch of dudes in an RV. Absolutely disgusting. That thing should have been set on
No,
fire
I'm
the
gay.
second we returned it. Right? But I'm like, there's these cool little trips, like little weekend trips where you can do almost anything in
Yeah.
that. I can haul some furniture, park any.
I mean, it's basically like an RV.
Yeah,
It's like
it
a
is.
tiny RV.
you can pull into a Walmart and just
What are those
pull
things,
the
like
awning out.
$70,000, $80,000?
They're pretty
They're
expensive.
so
Yeah,
expensive.
They're pretty expensive. You know what's crazy
Still
though
buy a
is
creeper
they have a
van.
little tiny sports car that's like 2 times the amount.
Yeah.
But that big old van, because I don't even think it's a Mercedes engine, to be honest with you.
It's probably a
We
Ford
just,
engine.
I think so.
I really want to buy something, and I think Cody's always been in the shop. His dad was on race car teams, and Cody worked on a race car team, and so they've always been like shop guys.
Yeah.
And I remember the summer after, it was the summer that before we got married, right? That we put the transmission, we dropped the transmission in the Dodge.
Summer before, summer after.
I don't know. We spent like 3 days until like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning dropping a transmission into a truck together. So like we really want to get a piece of shit.
That wasn't a transmission. That was a motor. We pulled that motor out.
But we
had
put the
it
new
rebuilt and
transmission.
put it in.
We had to take the transmission out to get it right.
Well, yeah.
It was something. I don't know. We did something, but I'm over
So
there. Like,
you want to actually rebuild
I
this
want to
thing?
get one that's like a piece of shit, and I want us to work on it
That's
together, and then so that when our kids get older and we no longer and like we're gonna die,
Yeah, when we're dead.
when
Yeah.
we're dead, they have this and say, "Well, my mom and dad did this together."
Yeah. And then your heart breaks when your kid is like, fuck you, my car drives by itself and I can take a nap.
Yeah, that's true.
Then I set it on fire.
I did that
That's
even
true.
when it didn't drive by itself.
just like
That's true.
just like it has bulletproof windows.
So
Yeah.
let Frank.
I am somewhat intrigued by that. Like, it's super dangerous, like where we are now
Yeah.
with it. You
Like
know?
Tesla.
Yeah.
That's the
Frank
craziest
won't
shit to
trust
watch.
it. We were driving. We almost got in 17 accidents on the way to South Carolina, but He kept going. I'm like, dude,
Red
the
light.
car
I say
will
it's
stop.
not red
Like,
lights.
cool.
It's
What
the
car-
car
did you
in
drive a
front of us.
Tesla?
No,
No, I have
Oh.
a Corolla, but it does the same thing.
no, it
It's a
does
newer
not. Does not
You
do
want to
the
go
same
test
thing.
it right now?
Yes.
We will
It-
try to hit your house.
It will stop.
Have you seen the commercial when it's like, you have to crash the Camry? And he's like, why do you crash the Camry? He's like, I tried. And it stops.
Yeah.
The Corolla does the same shit.
It stops
And
itself.
I believe in
He's in the
human
passenger seat
error,
going,
and I really believe in computer error.
Okay, so
Well, let it roll. Let
I'm
it
okay
roll.
I'm okay with testing this theory.
No.
You
He'll
wanna
crash
ride
right
out?
into my
We'll do it
damn
right
house.
now.
But I watched somebody, I don't remember, it was like Snapchat
He's like,
or something.
no, you feel that jerk where it slows down? And I'm like, no, that's you spazzing because you're about to hit the car in front of you.
No, it's not working.
And it fucking stops.
I watched somebody like in their Tesla, in their autopilot mode, and they're like, no hands on the wheels, no feet on
I'd
the
fall
pedal.
asleep.
And they're just like chilling. I'm just like, how are you so trusting in a computer that
I don't
could
give a shit.
just
It's time
go
to
on
go.
the fritz?
I like the idea of super fast electronic golf cart. Like
Yeah.
the Tesla. You know what I mean? Like, I love the idea of, like, there's no gears. Like, I think it's kind of cool. The concept of it's pretty cool. But I wouldn't just let it drive me around. Like,
Yeah.
no way. I couldn't trust that.
No, man. I have enough issues with, so like Disney, right? They got those go-karts that are on rails. They can
Yeah.
only go certain ways. That's still sketchy to me.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
I know I can't
what
leave
if
those rails. But,
what if I don't want to go exactly the way you're making me go?
Yeah.
Right.
Losing control. What's the Black Mirror? Have you ever seen that Black Mirror episode, by the way?
Okay, so I've heard about Black Mirror, but I don't know anything about it. Everyone's
Oh,
like, it's amazing.
So we never finished. We said Netflix.
Oh, Netflix.
What are you watching on Netflix?
13 Reasons Why is one.
Okay.
We watched all of that.
Janet watched that. She liked that. I
It's
don't.
okay.
I'm not saying that I couldn't get into it. She started too far ahead of me,
Yeah.
so I would have to have gotten on my own, and I just didn't have it in
I've
me.
gotten him into a lot of. There's a show he wouldn't do with me. Handmaid's Tale. I
That
got
wasn't
into that show,
Netflix, though.
and
We're
it is
talking
a
Netflix.
wick. I know. It's but he won't.
I stopped watching when she crashed in the plane.
What?
I'm
What is
sure
wrong
it
with you?
was-
You have to commit.
I don't like her.
How
She
far
should be
in
better
is
You don't
what
like
he's
June?
talking about?
I need a good looking
He's at
actress.
like the end of season
Season
1
two.
or season 2. Yeah.
Two.
Oh,
season
you
2.
can't watch a whole season and not finish.
Not if there's an ugly chick. I'm not involved.
I love June.
So I will say something that we haven't actually watched, which is really surprising to most people, is I have only made it to about middle to end of season 2 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
I stopped
Yeah.
watching it. I don't know. I got a little like.
it got wonky.
Yeah.
It got weird. Now I like it just gave Kevin shit about I can't stop watching it because I've committed. I have to
Yeah.
see it through.
Oh, we're on like season 21
commit
of
to
Grey's
nothing.
Anatomy, and it is going far downhill. I have
Yeah.
no
Oh
idea
my
what
God.
happened the last 2
Fucking
weeks.
Grey's Anatomy.
Don't tell me because we haven't watched it, but I've committed. There's characters and actors and shows that I love, and then I find out who they are like without the show, and I start being like,
Bothers
oh,
me. Liam Neeson.
yeah, it starts bothering me because I'm like, I don't want to support you because I don't support the things that you believe in. But then again, it's like this is America.
That's why actors and singers should just shut the fuck up. And
That's
do
what I'm
their
saying.
job.
Is like you can live your own life the way you want to, and I don't go on a platform and tell people how I feel. I let you live your life. Don't use yours
Yeah.
to tell me.
The reason why I won't stop maybe like watching somebody because I don't agree is because I would hope that there's somebody giving me that same
Right.
benefit of the doubt. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? Like, okay, they could talk some dumb shit on here, but when it comes to X, I still
Right.
support him. You know, I still would buy furniture from him, or I
Right.
still buy their clothing.
Right.
You know, well, it's kind of hard to not if you're not Second
Right. Well,
Amendment
and that's the very, and that's what I said. The very first thing that we ever said. We had a friend was like, "What is American regardless?" I'm like, "Well, me personally, I think it's I'm an American regardless of all the other
Right.
bullshit. No matter what you believe, you're still an American. So why not just be like, you know what? I'm proud to be who I am. And this is a perfect example. We were at Daytona Beach, and there was some church activists with very large signs and very big megaphones standing on the beach telling girls they were whores and like telling them how you should, you need to repent, you're going to go to hell. Okay, cool.
Oh my god. Did you give me that bullshit? Did you?
I
You
saw
came out
his
to the-
face just
I
go,
drank that.
oh.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. And we were walking, and we had friends that were down there, and they pointed to her and specifically was like, "You are a piece of shit. Or didn't say shit. They said, you're a whore. You're going to go to hell. You need to repent. I'm here for you." And they were being really mean, you know?
Yeah.
And so we had to walk past them to go where we were going in case, like, if they say one fucking thing. I'm like, let them be. And this is why I'm going to say that. We are in the one place in the world that you can go and stand on the street corner and say whatever you want to, and it be okay. And if you say something to them, that means that you are not okay with us having freedom of speech, because no matter if you agree with it, they're covered. And you have to respect it. And I find something beautiful in it, because I'm thinking,
if somebody says shit about my wife, I'm going to freak
Exactly.
But it
And
doesn't bother me.
And that's where I'm at, because apparently, we were talking to some friends of ours, and they were talking about how they were calling this one girl a whore and stuff like that because she had her boobs out, or like not out.
That doesn't
like,
make anybody
they were in
a
her
whore.
baby. They were in a
Nipples
bathing
exposed,
suit, right?
not a
No.
whore.
And that's what I told him. I said,
Church
"Dude,
people
if
won't like
somebody-
me."
If somebody's gonna
No.
say it to my wife, kick their fucking ass.
But that's the thing, is like, I have to look at them, and I'm
I'm
just
not gonna
like,
say
okay.
that I'm
Yeah.
gonna kick their ass.
No,
But
no.
somebody's getting their ass.
I
kicked,
would just
whether
be
it's
like,
me or
look,
them.
especially like, okay, I would definitely be upset somebody called my wife a whore. It doesn't matter
Right.
who you are, right? But
Ain't nobody calling my wife a
I
whore
s-
but me.
I still look for the first opportunity to be humorous about it. And I'd be like, if she's a whore, I'm Jesus. And this is factually correct.
Oh no, my wife would just gut them.
Because guess what?
I just laugh because it
Jesus
doesn't
liked
bother.
whores.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, look at Mary.
Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene, she was all up in that shit. But my thing is, like, I don't.
I dare you say that about Mary Magdalene.
I mean, she seems
You
like a
just
really
said
nice
that?
lady. She seems like a really nice
Hey.
lady. But
She's a nice lady.
I just have to find it, because it's like I'm very big on like our amendments, and I think that they're important for a reason, and you cannot have one without having the other. So I can't sit here and say what I want to say.
It can't
and
go
not,
both ways.
It has to go both ways.
Yeah.
Though. You have to be able to let everybody
yeah,
say
that's
what
right.
they want
It can't
to.
not go both ways.
Right. And then people start talking about, they got in this big Second Amendment thing. It was like, oh, well, we really don't need guns. I'm like, but this is the thing. You start with one, and it ends up being more than one.
Guns. I need a
Guns are
F-15.
first. Guns are going to be the first one. And then it's going to be freedom of speech. And then it's going to be the freedom of protest, and all these things that are going to start going away. So you have to respect them all and just be like, you know what, whatever. Say what you want to say.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Two
Okay.
protects the rest.
So everybody is freaking out about possible travel bans
Right.
and curfews and stuff like that. That is everyday life in some countries.
Yeah.
That is everyday
100%.
normal life.
It's called
Where
Cuba.
No, but
Venezuela,
there's certain
Sweden.
countries where if you're a certain religion or creed, you can't go to certain places
Yep.
in your own country, what you would call home, because it's not quite home.
Right.
You know, we have a colleague from Italy that was in town, and she's like, I love the fact that when they're flying into the United States, there's I forget who gets on. Kevin, do you remember who gets on? She's an
Shout out.
Italian.
So ugly.
If you're watching,
She's an Italian citizen that's pro-Trump, which is kind of cool. She's
Yeah,
an Italian
that's
citizen, pro-Trump, so she absolutely loves the man.
yeah.
And the thing she fell in love with was when she's in the plane coming into the United States, and she says, "If you're visiting our country, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home." And she's like,
Oh.
"That."
So
She's like, "You don't understand how much that means to me," because when she flies into Italy, there's just like instructions.
yeah.
She's just like, no. Like, we're not being welcomed home. And
Right.
she's like, I can see why you guys love your country.
Right.
She's from Italy and had a phone cover that was an American flag.
Nice.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah, but see, but no mainstream media is gonna show shit like that.
No,
Not at all.
But
No,
we
no.
have
Not at
a
all.
friend, and we actually met him. He was our bartender, and we became really great
Oh,
friends
yeah,
with him. Okay, where's he from?
He's from.
I'm sorry, Chris, if you're
Scotland.
watching. Scotland, yes. He
think.
spent thousands of dollars and worked his ass off and did his dues to come here legally and did it. And people get on me. I have friends, and they're still my friends on Facebook. I'm not I'm gonna delete you because you're a liberal. I'm just.
I know,
I don't
yeah.
care. You be you.
I let him go.
They always talk about like, well, conservatives hate immigrants. I don't hate immigrants. I hate people who come here without doing it the right way. Because our friend worked so hard to get here, and he still can't even vote because
Yeah.
that's just the way it works. But yet there's other people that can.
That's because he would vote for Trump.
He would. And he's a huge Trump supporter. Loves
Sure.
him. And people think that every immigrant hates him, but I'm thinking like, you really don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Because they come from things that their life's completely different.
You ask her about borders, and she says, we say, how do you feel? Because you're you're in the heart. Italy's in the heart of it.
Right.
You know, I said, how do you feel about closed borders? She's like, you guys don't understand what it's like to have fully open borders. My country isn't my country anymore.
Right.
It's taken over.
Yeah.
She's like, and I'm not being racist. There's like a national pride to having.
This is what she said. I don't want to be the racist.
Yeah. I don't want to be the racist.
And normally that means if somebody says, I don't want to be racist,
Right.
that means
Right.
they're going to say some racist
Well,
ass
but
shit.
it wasn't
Yeah.
racist.
Right.
It was nationalist. It was like, I love my country, but the people in here. Okay, Italy. What's one of the things you think about when you think about Italy? I think of Catholics. Now,
Shitty pizza.
well, no.
I like their pizza.
I think about the fact that the Catholic religion is basically like that's its headquarters, right? So
Yeah.
again, we can get down the Catholic path. I get it, to each their own.
Oh, don't get me started.
I hate
If
Catholics.
you really want to break the record, get me started.
But she said they are not allowed to have the cross in public schools in Italy because Muslims complained.
How often do you talk to her?
She told us all this when she was here.
I wouldn't listen.
I listened because I'm intrigued by this sort. I
Right.
love the idea. I don't want to see the touristy things in your country. I want to hear about what goes on in
Right.
Titusville, Florida's all over the world, right?
Yeah.
That bothers me. The fact that religion, like that's the foundation of,
Yeah.
Roman Catholic. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
And they
And they
can't
can't
have
have a church in a public or a cross in a public school.
Yeah.
Now, again, to each their own. I get it. You pick and
Yeah.
choose your battles, but that's just like saying we couldn't have maybe what's ours, right? We couldn't
Our
have
American flag.
An American flag.
an American
Yeah.
flag,
Which is the case in some
But
schools.
see, this is the thing. The word nationalist has become the new word for being a racist.
yeah, you're a Nazi
Yeah.
because you're a nationalist.
Because you're a nationalist.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand how we went from a country that's like, I just wish people, these liberals, these young liberals, like the ones that are like brand freaking new, I wish that they could be the people who were like, I always heard it the best. I wish we had the America we had on like September 12th.
Sure.
Because that's the America that was the best.
You think this whole Corona thing is how do you feel about this? Not just the disease, but do you feel anything positive coming from?
Well, the way that I really feel about it is if it had anything on Hillary Clinton, it would be gone pretty quick.
It'd be dead.
Yeah, it'd be dead.
There'd be a vaccine for it. It would be 2 shots to the back of the head with a suicide
No,
note.
I'm gonna be
What
dead.
was that thing? What was that thing I saw that said, oh man, what was it? Damn.
Have you not noticed though that there's
it
like
would
a
not
little
surprise
bit of
me.
community going on?
No,
There
a
it would
little
not
bit.
And I
surprise
see
me at
that.
all. You know, you've seen stuff from like the Wuhan thing, and would I say that?
You know,
right?
I feel
Wuhan,
like you're saying
Wuhan.
Wu-Tang Clan every
Wuhan,
time you start
whatever.
saying
I
it.
always think Wu-Tang Clan.
But this Harvard professor is caught getting all this money from Chinese government, who's got this other kid smuggling in all this stuff from China, right?
And he's getting a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, it was a lot of money.
And
Like, what,
and his
$50,000
research
a month
clinic,
or something
his
like
research
that?
clinic was there.
Like
Right.
$1.5 million.
Yeah, total, and then $50,000 a month.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of
And
money.
you
per
got,
month.
you got this
Money.
outbreak that just kills like hundreds of
Well, my thing was like
people in China.
they
as
were
they're
rioting.
As they're rioting. See,
That's
people
where it got-
forget about the riots already.
it's gone.
'cause
Like
they're
who gives a
gone.
shit?
'Cause
They forget all about it.
It's like somebody sat around and was like, "How do we get 1 million people back in their houses and stop in our streets?" Oh, I got it. Boom, there it was, and
Right.
they're all gone. I'm not saying that's actually
Sure,
what happened,
no.
but it's very coincidental.
So I
Like,
know that this kind of stemmed from saying, the whole we were talking about nationalism,
yeah,
right? But it's like I feel like on both sides of the coin,
yeah,
I think people want a September 12th.
yeah.
Without having September 11th.
Right.
It's like they want it. They want a reason to unite.
Yeah.
But
I would love if we could unite like we did that. You know, I was young.
We were young, and
I
I
know,
remember
but-
being a kid and being like, "Well, everybody loves the American
Nothing
flag
mattered
so much."
anymore.
I remember all these songs that came out right afterwards too, and it's like I still listen to those songs today.
Oh, fuck
So
yeah.
patriotic,
Some of the
like-
country songs still bring tears to my
Yeah.
eyes when I
Yes.
listen to
Still
them.
gets
You know, it gets me every time. All in the fields, deployment coming home videos. Like,
for sure.
I like sit there in my bed. Cody works the nights, and I sit here and I'll like get on Facebook and I get them whole, like a rabbit hole.
For some reason, whenever I watch those, my allergies flare up.
I'm like,
Yeah. Oh, it's
oh
the
my
allergies,
God.
right?
My
Yeah,
son's
it's
like,
always
"What's
the
wrong with
allergies.
you, Mom?"
I
I'm fine.
I hope to God they never stop showing those like on the morning
Yeah.
news shows, because every now and then they have some of those damn good
I
ones.
mean, there's like these little tiny itty bitty little girls running down the hallway to their dad, and I'm like, oh God,
Oh, I lose it.
I can't.
I lose it.
I can't.
Now, you know what? What do you think of when you see him? I don't think of Republican,
No.
Democrat. I don't think of Bernie Sanders, Trump. I think of he's getting to see his family. I even remove the fact that people have an opinion on the war he's fighting.
Right.
Because guess what? He doesn't have an opinion,
No.
right? He has an
He
order.
does.
Well, I mean, he does, but I
Yeah.
think people forget that.
He does.
But he has an order.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's above his opinion.
Right. It's
You
not
know?
like you could just walk in and they say, well, this is what you're going to do. And you're like, yeah, well.
To a
no.
certain extent, I do believe that it's that order that you're just gonna listen to. But then you look at things like gun control. There's hundreds of people that I served with that would never enforce something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So, like,
that's a
And
different story.
That's where
Yeah.
they're gonna run
But-
into issues, man.
So, and again, I don't want to get too like revolution type
Oh, yeah.
talk on it.
No.
Right.
But I do think that that's a hard line that people are going to have to face. And I'm not saying that order above everything,
Yeah.
because that order goes against the Constitution that they're
Exactly.
out there fighting for.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So
that
it's like a catch-22. It's
it's
like,
a catch-22.
well,
Which order is higher in your priorities?
Right.
That Constitution or whatever somebody, from a desk,
Yeah.
sent you out to do.
Right.
So, I mean, when we had a conversation with this woman about, I said, hypothetically, like, if your country was getting invaded, like, what would happen? Like, would your citizens stand up and fight? Like, she's like, I don't think we could. We don't have guns. We couldn't defend
Right.
ourselves.
That's so crazy to me.
Well, I said, what's your opinion on a country or, an enemy coming to invade the United States? And she was just like, that wouldn't happen. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you can't even imagine it? She's like, I couldn't even imagine it.
Right.
And I was like, that's awesome that you think that way.
Yeah. And I think the majority of people from any other country do.
I hope so.
I can't necessarily say 6, 7, 8 years ago people would have felt that way.
I don't think
I
so.
feel like some of them could have been like, yeah, we might be able to take them. But I
Or
feel
maybe
like,
they've gotten weak, or maybe
Right.
they're getting
Yeah.
soft.
But I feel like now, like, even though the media just kind of destroys it down, man, I don't think we're as united as we were on September 12th.
No.
But I think that we're more united now than we were
I have a news report.
5 years ago.
Let's
Welcome to
hear
the show, Kevin.
it. And he's
And
back.
he's back.
But I guess to put a bow on this, I said, Kevin, Kevin and I didn't serve in the military, but we're both gun owners, and if we woke up tomorrow with some crazy shit going on outside our front door, I think we would both go out there ready to figure out what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
And she was just like, that's amazing that you guys would do that. I'm like, why? I love my country.
Yeah.
I love my country, and that's
what
not.
made her so excited is when I was like, the whole time we were having the meeting, there was a gun in the room.
Oh
where
yeah,
we were at. She's
she,
like,
she loved
"Really?"
it. She loved it.
Yeah.
But the thing that we said was, I said, look, loving our country, it means so much. Yeah, sure, it's symbolized with a flag, you
Right.
know. I said, but that means my neighbor, whatever side he's on,
Right.
my gay neighbor, right,
Yeah.
He just wants to protect his weed.
right.
With,
With
his
his gun.
guns.
And I'd be out there protecting my gay
Right,
neighbor with my
right.
guns, because that
Absolutely.
is country, that is community. Like, other countries don't understand that.
No.
I have to say what I just found out. All ramen and all cup of noodles are sold out.
I know. I've told you this.
I just got alerted.
So my wife,
Hayden is going to be so sad.
when we were out of town, I said, you know what? Why don't you go grocery shopping in case this is actually a thing? Now, not the sickness, but like
People
running out of
overbuying,
shit.
Yeah.
I said,
overbuying.
go
we
buy.
have so much at my house. Just come over.
I said, go buy some basic shit that we
Yeah.
can eat if we can't buy stuff anymore, right? She's like, what do you want? And I'm like, I want fucking ramen.
Yeah.
She's like, ramen? There's no ramen. I'm like, what do you mean there's no fucking
Already
ramen?
gone.
It's gone?
It's gone.
Already.
Fuck, man.
I don't like
That's like toilet
I don't like
paper,
the
dude.
square
I thought-
kind. I like the cup kind.
I love the cups.
I thought this
That's
toilet paper thing was a
You're
joke,
like
man.
bougie.
Oh, there's no
I like
toilet
We just went to
bougie
Target.
ramen, the dollar
Yeah.
27
Zero.
Nothing.
ramen, not the
Holy
99 cent
shit.
ramen.
There's no toilet paper. So she bought a shitload
Why
of wet
toilet
wipes.
paper?
Dude,
Why
my
toilet
dad has
paper?
enough
Shit
toilet
tickets.
Paper, you shit tickets.
Hayden's calling me because I just He's listening right now. And I just told him that he loves ramen. And he's mad because they're all sold out.
He can call back later.
Shit tickets. Anyway, so
Yeah, what shit tickets?
Shit tickets.
where did that come from?
Because they tear one by one.
Little shit tickets. So my wife bought a bunch
Pam
of.
to pass.
Yeah, I get it, but
So Pam, one of our listeners, she called them shit tickets one day.
okay.
I
Oh,
started
on the show.
cracking
Yeah,
up.
was it last week? I think we were talking
know.
about this kind of building
I'm
up.
really hot right now.
I am. I
Take
just
this
lowered
off.
it. Kevin, you can also grab that white remote and
I'm
put
not
the
doing
fan
it.
on.
He said I'm not doing.
Grab the white remote with a fucking wipe. So she bought the wet wipes because it still does the same thing, and I'm about to order a bidet.
Are you?
Like, fuck you guys in your toilet
Like,
paper.
watch what happens now.
Shit everywhere.
What?
No bathroom on your
No.
I don't care.
No.
ass.
Nope.
You like bidet or no
I do.
bidet?
I do like bidets.
I've never used one.
No.
I mean, if we don't have toilet paper,
You use what at?
The nice hotels in Korea had them.
Oh.
if I don't have toilet paper, what's my other
South
option?
Korea.
And then the bad hotels in Korea had a hole in the floor that you squatted over.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. If we don't have toilet paper, we're just gonna have to do the fucking monkey scoop.
Just throw it at people.
Do you see where the monkeys were like attacking the Thai place where they used to feed them?
Probably because they gave them the goddamn corona.
No, well they're not at the place because of the coronavirus. Like there's nobody visiting.
Oh, so they're not getting food, so they're pissed.
Yeah, and they're like attacking.
That's
like,
awesome.
The,
I mean,
the town.
that's fair.
I mean, I attack
Planet
my
of the
wife
Apes.
if you don't
I
feed
would
me.
love to shoot them all with my AR-14.
Yeah.
AR-14.
Yeah, I love my AR-14.
Hey man, you want to step outside? Shoot me with your AR-14.
My 60 round magazines that can shoot.
Oh, isn't that
200
crazy?
bullets in a minute
We got these handguns with 60-round magazines.
or a second. What was it?
60-round clips.
60 round, yeah, that
Clips.
can shoot. They can shoot like 10 rounds a second.
Yeah,
or
these-
30
What?
rounds a second.
Yeah.
Where are you getting that at?
I want to know where I get one of those.
Liberal news media.
I was watching some girl on there.
Where do they sell these?
And she was like, this guy was like, yeah, did you know that you can go on the internet right now and buy a piece that you could just put on your gun and it makes it a fully automatic weapon? And she was like, no, but can you give me that website?
Yeah,
Because I would like to know.
it clips right into the holster. They don't know. Good God, do you remember the picture of a shotgun? They posted a picture of a shotgun and said a man
AR-14 shooting this
attacked.
watermelon.
Yes, a man attacked, or what, had the ability to attack with this machine gun. Or no, this assault rifle.
I think it should be mandatory that if you were going to talk about guns, you need to go shoot one and know what you're talking
You need
about.
to know it.
Listen, I just got hooked up on the pre-order for ramen noodles. You need some?
Nice.
I need to put them in my
That seems
Amazon
like a lot of
subscribe
money.
and save box.
It does.
know.
They're a buck a
I
piece.
love my subscribe and save.
You know what I think is funny too is you can find out what's really made in China right now, because you go to order shit on Amazon and
Yep.
if it's out of stock, you're
It's
like,
from China.
yeah, 100%. Guess what? Amazon's gonna really take a beating from this because a lot of that
Yeah.
shit on there is made from China.
And people are like, oh, Amazon. And this is the thing that's hard for me. So, as a small business owner, I don't think people understand how hard it is for people to like you go on Amazon and you buy something for the same amount of price you buy something for me, but because you think it's easier. But I'm guilty of it too because
sure.
we do subscribe and save for our kids as snacks. It's easier for me than having to go to buy them every month. They just come in a box, and I
Sure.
say once they're gone, they're gone. And I could go to Food Lion and buy them, but it's convenience.
Did you
But
say Food Lion?
yeah, they
Yep.
have Food Line.
We have Food Lion.
Girl,
we
you're
don't
in
have.
Publix territory.
Listen, do you know how bad I want a Publix chicken sandwich?
Oh my God, can we talk about this? They're on sale right now.
What? We're going to Publix before
$5.99.
we leave tomorrow.
I think the chicken tender sub's $6.99.
Listen, kids,
A
tomorrow.
whole
I'll eat
chicken
that
tender
chicken
sub.
tenders.
Listen,
from Publix.
chicken tender sub with smoked Gouda and
Yes.
Chipotle sauce,
Yum.
toasted, spectacular.
I loved Publix.
Publix is so.
When we
damn
lived in
good.
Tampa, I was like, yes, this is my favorite grocery store. Okay, other than that, and
They do a damn good job.
Trader Joe's. I love
We're
Trader
shopping.
Joe's.
It's a
do
pleasure.
good job.
I'm
Trader
a Trader
Joe's.
Joe's whore too.
So
we actually have a
Oh,
Publix in
wait,
Fayetteville.
cookie butter.
you do.
We do.
I remember.
Yes.
But it's,
Shit.
It's quite a
what?
ways down from where we live.
No, I love it.
So
Oh,
there's
okay, I thought
people
you
in
said like
South
it's bad. I was like,
Carolina.
what?
Oh shit!
Yes.
Like one of the.
We're saying something about swinging by the Publix, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Fucking
Who's
Publix here?"
hungry?
Yeah, there's one in North Carolina.
God, he does
in
this
Fayetteville.
every time.
All right,
And
let's see
then
what we
he
got.
does. No, here's the thing. And then he doesn't order anything, and he talks about food for the last hour of the show. He leaves. I destroy the fridge. Every fucking time.
And I'm the fat one.
We're going on 3 hours, so we're closing in on it.
So, yeah, fuck. There's a lot of good topics. There's a
There
lot of
are,
good
for
topics.
sure.
So the other thing too is I do think that shit is getting overdone with this.
Yeah.
People want to. You know what? I think everybody just has a little doomsday prep in them,
Yes.
and they want to be a.
I'm going to be honest with
Part
you.
of it.
I have this like crazy desire, and I told him this. It's like, I really want a bunker. Like, not like like a shitty war bunker. Like a
clubhouse,
like a cool clubhouse.
like a little underground clubhouse. I get it.
Just a little bit of me.
I get it.
Like,
You just got to get
just
one
in
of those
case, because-
shipping containers.
and just bury.
Just bury shipping container with like a concrete
I
ramp.
read
I know where
a,
we'd
and
be
read
able
a,
to get some of those.
I read
They're
an
not too bad
article-
these days.
I read an article about this company that built this massive, I mean, huge underground, like, it's like an apartment kind of. I mean, a community, and it's like a gym, and it's got a grocery.
They're like cylinders,
like
right?
pods,
Yep.
yeah. And they're like $1.2 million.
Oh, they're ridiculous.
For like a 2-bedroom.
That's like a basic.
Yeah.
And they can add
Yes.
additions. Yeah, and
And I
they're
was
not.
like,
There's just all
I mean,
that.
if I was a millionaire, would I do it? Probably.
Yeah.
No,
Well, because what if the world
we
goes
would
to
not.
shit one
You
day?
know the problem is
we're
I,
going with it.
I think okay, and I don't know if I'm right on this. Again, I spit shit out here and I say it happens or it's factual. It's not factual at all. But I think the majority. Now bear with me on this. I think the majority of millionaires are liberal, and the majority of billionaires are Republican.
I could see that.
There's a reason for that.
Right. So what I'm saying is there's tons of actors and actresses that are millionaires.
Yeah.
A millionaire is not that big of a deal anymore.
Right.
You know, so it's very, I'm not saying it's easy, right? But if a couple big breaks, you're a millionaire.
Yeah.
Right? So it's kind of, so they're the ones that buy into a lot of the dumb shit too.
Yeah.
So if you ask millionaires, a lot of millionaires, oh God, no, they're not, they're very left leaning.
Yes.
And it seems like the country as a whole goes that way because it's like, oh, that's where the money is. That's where the money is. Most of the billionaires are very conservative.
One of them was kind of our president now.
Yes.
He's like, well,
Yeah.
and there, I saw something that bothered me. They said, I think that we need to put an end to having billionaires. I think AOC said that. She said that nobody needs billionaires.
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
AOC needs to put an end to talking.
did you please tell me you saw her?
Facts.
Please tell me you saw the dishwasher disposal thing.
I did not.
Oh my God.
I just know the meme of yay he got acquitted is my fucking
You
favorite.
have to go watch the video of her. It was like her Snapchat or her Instagram, and she's like filming the garbage disposal. And she's like, guys, I just moved in this apartment, and I flipped this switch, and this really loud sound happened. And I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's scary. And I'm like, bitch, it's a garbage disposal. Don't put your hand in it. You're fine. She had no idea what it was, had never lived in one. And she was like, I don't even know if this is environmentally safe. I'm like, what? It's a garbage disposal. How old are you?
First off, wasn't she like stripping at a bar before she got this job?
Oh, I didn't know that.
She's a bartender.
She was a bartender.
Oh,
She could not move because she didn't have money for her first and last. She had to wait for her first check to move.
She complained about it.
She complained about it. So this is one of my favorite memes when Trump got acquitted.
Hooray, he quitted.
Because I'm like, how dumb can she be?
I'm telling you, you have to go watch that video. It's
She
so
wouldn't
funny.
back Bernie Sanders because Bernie backed, or she wouldn't back Bernie Sanders because Joe Rogan endorsed Bernie and Joe Rogan's made fun of her on the show.
Oh my God.
I think that's the funniest thing. No. She said one of the reasons why is because Joe Rogan doesn't support biological men competing as women in sports.
Oh, I don't
no
agree with that.
shit.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that either. I do agree the other way. If a woman wants to go up against a man, sex change or not, and she could beat him, by all fucking means do it because that's awesome.
Right.
And whatever, right? But there are certain biological things that men can do.
There was a big thing going on. Is it New Hampshire? Or, I don't know, there was somewhere that there were these girls that had been running track for a really long time. And these two twin brothers who identified as a woman got on the women's track team and killed them every single time. I mean,
No
like,
shit,
just
because they're dudes.
killed them. And they're like, they stopped doing it. They protested and said, we are not running anymore because this is not fair. This is my chance to go to college on a track scholarship.
You're fucking my life
and
up.
You're taking that from me. Why can't you run in your own sport? And I
'Cause they can't
it's like,
win.
Well, there was a dude that identified as a chick and in wrestling.
I saw
yeah.
that.
And was just beating the shit out of women.
Yeah.
I just think there has to be some kind of like, especially when it comes to kids in high school, it's like those girls are working really hard. And they're putting in the work for it, and then they're getting clobbered every single time because they have a
Like,
disadvantage.
I don't give
as
a
a
fuck
woman.
what you identify as. Your biology is your biology, and you are just going to be better at that particular thing because
whatever
of
it
your
is.
biology.
Whatever it is. Now, as we get older, women...
the playing fields start leveling out just a little bit more.
Certain things.
Yeah.
Certain things. Like, as you get older, women can actually outrun men at older age.
Right.
So I did a lot of research. Women have more negative splits, meaning the longer the race goes on, they get faster. Men slow down, right? So in sprinting, would you think that a woman or a man would win? Probably a man.
Right.
You're talking about
Dang.
muscle.
Yeah.
You're talking about mass, energy.
Women have more endurance, men have more muscle.
Correct. So depending on what the hell it is you're doing, it's going to make a difference.
Right.
Right.
We're talking about physically lifting something. Biologically, men have an advantage. That
Right.
doesn't mean I have an advantage over you. It just means if you took 100 men and 100 women, men are
I
probably
think
going to have
there's
more.
so many things, and that's something I saw. I think there's so many things that women, this new feminist movement, we're trying to be so much more like men instead of appreciating who we are as women. And I feel like there are things that I can do that my husband would never be able to do. I had a 10-pound baby, and that man would have died.
Of course.
I know he
I
would
would
have
have died.
And I just
I
feel,
cried a lot.
and that's the thing is like we have our own strength as women, and we are made to do certain things, and we're made. I'm not saying everyone's supposed to have a baby, but our bodies are made to handle that, and men aren't.
I don't want my wife to not have the tenderness she does with my children.
Right.
You know, if I do not want her to not have the ability to be frustrated all day long and yet give them the love and affection, because I can't do that.
Right.
I flip out on my kids after 10 minutes of being home
Just
because
like
they
that.
won't leave me the hell alone. Doesn't mean I don't love them. I don't
You just don't have the patience for it.
I don't have that capability that
Right.
she does. My mind is thinking, make money or this project
Yeah.
or providing for my family. Now, I get it. Maybe it's a character flaw, maybe it's not. But that's the reason why I'm putting food on the table.
Right.
I want to provide.
I think that it's built into us each biologically like that. I think that, we grow these humans for 9 months. So obviously we already have this connection with them that y'all will never have.
No.
And they're
Isn't
shitty
that
moms.
why kids are supposed to kind of look like their dad for the first X amount of time in their
and
life?
they say that they look like their dad because they weren't. It's like this genetic thing or whatever
It's
is.
to bond
yeah,
with
it's to
with
bond
the
with them.
father.
Like, oh, you can see yourself in your child, so
Right.
you're like, okay. And it's like I know he gets frustrated, and he knows he comes home, and I'm like, these children are gonna make me lose my mind. But it just takes my kids to be like, Mom, will you come lay with me, or will you rock
Done.
me? And I'm like, all right, I got you. And he's like, you're such a sucker. And I'm like, yeah, but this is my job. My
Right.
job is to show them all the love that I can show them, and you're supposed to show them how to work really, really hard. Not that I don't work hard,
Right.
but they have to get a little bit of both to be whole people.
Now, for women listening, which there is none probably, but
They're probably like, this bitch.
that doesn't mean that you can't be that mom and run a company.
Right.
It doesn't mean that. It just means that you have to naturally embrace what
Right.
it is. Okay, you're more likely going to be the protector if something happened, right? She's got the kids locked up in the room, but you're standing at the front door so nobody can come in.
Right.
That's, again, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with embracing who the hell we are genetically.
It's not, but then it's also the same effect of like you can be both. You can be
Sure.
a very beautiful, loving mother who bakes cookies in the kitchen all day long, and then in the evening you're just as much as a badass when someone tries to come in your house. And that's what I've always thought about, and that's why I think guns are important to me, because it's not anybody else's job to protect me and my kids when my husband's not around except me.
Sure.
So when he works nights, I've always had the thought of like, all right, this is my plan. I know where my gun is. I know where it's loaded. It's ready to go. If somebody comes in my house right now,
They're fucked.
They're fucked
So-
because
Let's be honest.
So, but that's a part that people don't see though, because that's what makes the woman I don't say feminist, right? The feminine. That's what makes the feminine woman even more appreciative, is that they can do those things.
right.
they can protect.
Right.
They can provide if they have
It's
to.
always like that. Have you seen that thing where the women that will lift cars off their kids?
Sure.
It's like it's in you somewhere, but you don't have to be that all the time.
Why do you have to be that
right.
all the time?
You don't have to be like, well, I have to be both.
Right.
And I think the feminist movement makes women like me look like weak because I rely on my husband. But I only rely on my husband because he relies just as much on me.
Sure. I get it, but and it's the other thing. It's like lesbians, for example.
Yeah.
Like, why does every lesbian need to look like Brad from Home Improvement?
I don't get it. And that's the thing is like because they are biologically drawn, like there's something in them that thinks like there has to be like a manly part of this relationship and the feminine part of this relationship. Why
That
can't
should
you-
tell you something.
Yeah.
That should tell you something.
biologically something is in you and in her that is making both of you think like, well, we both
Somebody
can't-
has to play a certain role
Yeah.
in this thing to
And
work.
maybe I'm wrong. Please somebody tell me because I'm not a lesbian and I don't know.
You gotta have a pitcher and a catcher to play baseball.
Okay. That's a whole nother topic.
Yes.
Look, I'm down for it. Because here's the deal with that. I don't think that, again, to each their own. To each their own.
Right.
Stop forcing shit down my kid's throat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I have a problem with
100%.
that.
I do too.
I have a problem that a new sitcom probably doesn't get approved unless it's got not only one gay man, but a gay black man, and also a trans woman.
Yeah.
It's like, why can't you just tell me the
Unless you're last man standing and Fox will pick you up.
That's true. But that's very true. But you tell me a real life situation where that's the story. You find me one person who says, "Oh, my best friend's a gay black man. My second best friend's a transgendered Asian woman, and I also have, a gay Asian couple
Right.
as my best friend." You tell me what fucking world that's an actual, true, real story. Oh, and by the way, like 2 of you have kids from a previous man. No,
California.
Now, but even then, it just
Yeah.
it doesn't
It's still-
make
yeah,
sense.
It's still gonna be
I
hard
just
to
I think
find.
that we try to overcomplicate our kids
100%.
before they're ready, and it's like it takes. My kids are not stupid, but I mean, it's like they're not simple-minded because they're kids. They're not stupid. They're just innocent, and they don't
should be.
Well,
understand.
you're
it.
sexualizing everything.
Exactly.
You're sexualizing
And
everything.
it's
It
bullshit.
is, and it's like
I noticed that with my daughter, by the way. Like, feeling uncomfortable about her bathing suit. I think her bathing suit was like a hair too small. Like, meaning she'd probably just grown at, like, a month from now it's not going to fit her.
Right.
Right? Need to get her a new bathing suit. And I think it's like, it looks fine on her. But I was like, I kind of see what's going on. I think it's like sexualizing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, I didn't say it to her. Nothing. You don't make a big deal about it. I want her to be naive.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as possible. But I don't want her to be uncomfortable because now everything's sexualized.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want her to feel like, wait, am I supposed to have a boyfriend? Because if I don't have a boyfriend, that means I like girls. And if I like girls, that means I have to do these marches.
Well, see,
Like-
and that's the thing is like
shit.
we know people like I've known somebody that like their daughter or something like that had said like I think I'm a lesbian. Well, how do you know that? Because you're not old enough to understand that. And it's like I just feel like let's say your kid comes out and says, okay, well, I'm a lesbian or I'm gay. Like, okay, but how do you know that? Because you like another. I think other women are pretty.
I was just about to say that. Most women will tell you right away, like they name 2 girls off the top of their head they think are absolutely gorgeous.
Absolutely, Ruby Rose.
Okay. So, but that does not mean.
But that doesn't mean that I'm gay.
That doesn't mean that
can
you should
find-
rewind time and
Right.
be a
I think
lesbian.
I think they need to let kids grow up and find out who they are and really figure that out before they make that such a big decision.
Sure.
And it's like I don't want you to not experience your life because you've said, okay, well, here I am, 13 years old. I've decided I'm gay. That's it.
I mean, most Catholic priests
Are
wait
gay.
60, 70 years before they decide they like little boys.
I'm still listening.
Well, it's just like, and that's what we've always talked about is like, we obviously grew up in a time where like my grandma would have been like, if somebody had been like, oh, well, I'm gay, she would have been like, don't ever talk to me.
Oh,
Or
for
something. You know what
sure,
I mean?
for
It's
sure,
like
for sure.
that- she was born in the 20s,
Look.
so it's like a different world. But me, if my kid came home, 22, whatever, it's like, Mom, I'm gay. I'm not going to make a big deal
Oh,
out of it. I
there-
don't want to make it a thing.
Sure, there's people who live in this area who probably could tell you that their grandparents would not have ever let a black person come in their house.
Yeah.
You get what, like,
Yeah, it's like we live in a different world, and I think we have to adapt. But I don't think that we have to like I don't think we have to push on our kids and like make them realize like this is what the world we live in and there's all these crazy things.
It seems like the way this is going, 10 years from now, whatever genitalia you're born with is either getting cut off or sewn up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just a fucking number stamped on your head and go. It's just,
Telling you.
you know, and I also have this theory too, and it's probably not my theory, but I have this theory where it's just too easy for people to reproduce now. And I was talking to Janet about it, and she was kind of like, all right, just be careful who you say this to. And here I am saying it on the
say
show.
it on the podcast.
But the idea is it's like, you know, hundreds of years ago, I may not even have made it this far. I would have died from something, right? An animal killed me. Coronavirus.
Something.
A competitor, right?
Yeah.
Who wanted my tribe, right? Yeah. I wouldn't have made it. But let's just say you did, and you passed on your genes. Okay? Those are stronger genes now being passed, because if you made it and I didn't, something worked, right? It's just too fucking easy to pass on genes. You see these people who are like dying, riddled with cancer, and their one wish is to have a child. Yeah. So they take their, you know, semen or their eggs or whatever the case is, and they reproduce. Right. Okay. The embryo that you just created now has a significantly higher chance of having the same cancer you did or other cancers, and most likely going to be born with some sort of a problem.
Right.
Okay. Back in the day, that wouldn't have happened. You wouldn't have made it. And I'm not trying to be cold about it. I'm trying to say
facts are facts.
I'm just trying to say it's just too easy.
Right.
It's just too easy now, and everybody wants a fair shot. Now, I think everybody what's the saying? Opportunity should be equal, but what the hell's it? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
everybody should have a fair crack at it, but that doesn't mean that everybody should be born with the same
it's like a participation
deck
trophy.
of cards.
Yeah, like you don't get a participation trophy just because you kind of tried.
No, but you're allowed to play the sport.
Exactly, you're allowed to try.
You're
but
allowed to
doesn't mean
try,
you get a trophy
but
for
that
trying.
does exactly. So
I don't think that produces winners. I think it produces people that think that just because they did something that
settlers.
was okay.
I just got to show up.
Yeah.
I just got to show up. And again, I'm completely saying it the wrong way, but the idea is, sure, give me an opportunity to let me play baseball.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I have to have the same talent. It doesn't mean that if you're better than me, you have to dumb down your talent so that we can play equally.
Right.
And that's the thing is, I think that like it's like I don't want everybody to get offended because of the way that I feel, and a lot of it is maybe because I don't understand things. Like I don't understand like. I don't understand where they're coming from. So sometimes I need people to say, okay, this is how I feel. This is why I feel like I am transgender. Okay, fine. Tell me. I'll listen.
Right.
But that doesn't mean I'm going to understand what you're trying to tell me. I just want you to explain it to me, but don't explain it to me and then make me feel like I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that's when the problem starts coming in, and that's what our kids don't understand is like they're not going to understand things like that. And if my son goes to school and he sees a kid and he's a boy, and then he comes to school a couple weeks later and he looks like a girl, my son's not going to understand that, and then I'm going to have to try and explain that to him, and I don't know how. You know, I can say, well, he can be whoever he wants to be, but he's going to be like, well, why does he wear dresses and I don't wear dresses?
My kid, there's someone in my son's school who was named after his father. They got divorced. Now he mysteriously, randomly, goes by his middle name, which is not his father's name, right? So we'll say, oh, isn't that kid in your class? Yeah, but he goes by something now. Like, isn't that weird that my 5-year-old is now telling, yeah, but he goes by something else now.
Right.
You get what I'm trying to say? Like, again, this is just a name.
Right.
Because we don't have a situation where, oh, yeah, now he goes by Melissa.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not the case.
It's got to be confusing.
It's confusing.
And I just think that we need to, like, let kids grow up a little bit before we start, like...
What? You're Kavina. Kevto. Did we break the record yet? I have to piss.
We did. I think we should wrap it up.
All right.
I'm getting tired.
I know you're getting tired.
It's fair.
This has been fun. This is a lot of fun. So, all right, quickly to wrap it up, we're giving away a hat to Jeff, right?
Yes.
Jeff Burton's getting a hat. JT is getting a shirt, right?
Yes.
That works. That's what we wanted to do. But everybody listening, definitely check out American Regardless. When we do the post edit, we're going to have that link everywhere. Guys, you heard the story. Handmade here in the States, cheaper than most other companies. I mean, the competition that we were talking about earlier. What?
That's expensive.
less expensive. I didn't. It's definitely okay. I've got the shirt on and I've got a hat in front of me. It's definitely better than the competition that sent me stuff, whatever it was, a couple years ago. And that's it. That's all I have to say about that.
And by the way, can I say this?
Style, something like that.
This shirt he's wearing and the shirt that I'm wearing are like these tri-blends,
Oh,
and they're the softest shirts you'll ever put on. So if you want something that's like lightweight, Florida people, you need this shirt.
The
because
tri-blend,
it's
I have
like-
one. I just got
I
one.
love it. Those shirts are a little thicker because they're more like durable.
Sure.
Like, drunk falling on your face.
So
whatever.
the average person, that's actually a good point, and I don't want to drag it on too much more, but that's a good point. The average person doesn't quite know, right?
Right.
So this, I would tell you, the shirt that I'm wearing right now, what is this shirt?
That is 100% ring spun cotton,
Ring spun cotton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
pre-shrunk.
Okay, that's a big deal
Yeah.
because it feels really good compared to something that you just go to Walmart and grab a shirt
Yeah.
because it's got your favorite NASCAR driver on it.
Right.
It feels totally
That's
different.
very
Yes.
stereotypical.
No, I'm just trying to say, like, that's why you would
Hey,
go
we love
buy a
NASCAR.
certain shirt, right? So you're talking about that's like a stiff kind of a
Yeah, it's
feel.
like if
the
you're gonna
logo
work in
feels
it, yeah.
crunchy, right? This actually feels very soft compared to something like that. The pre-shrunk, I think, is what makes it a big deal because it feels like a shirt that's been washed a whole bunch, and
Yeah.
you know it's not shrinking anymore.
Right.
So compare that to the tri-blend.
This is like, it's super, it's like butter. That's what I keep saying. It reminds,
Sure.
it's you don't feel it being heavy on you. It's lightweight. And like, I wore it, we were riding the bikes and it was like, 86, 87, and it was hot. And we were sitting in the sun and I didn't get sweaty. It was like,
It doesn't feel like those. Okay, so you're wearing something you could feel like when the seams
Yeah.
are like
Yeah.
rubbing on you
yeah,
and
no,
stuff.
these are
Yeah,
super
this
soft.
is very, just light. I think
Yeah.
is the best way to describe it.
I love that, and a lot of
Right.
people kind of get that mixed up with the athletic shirts.
Yeah, it's
Right.
not like a moisture wicking,
Right.
Right.
like athletic shirt.
Right. It's just a lightweight. It
Mm-hmm.
still has that cotton feel, but it's just very, very soft.
And the logos, I mean, they're in the shirt. It's
Yeah,
not.
they're
This
flat.
isn't an iron-on.
No.
Like they
No.
feel
People think
good.
that's what it is. Like, oh,
Sure.
this is like vinyl. I'm like, it's
It's
not coming
not
off.
vinyl.
This is ink. This is like,
This is ink. It's
Yeah.
staying
There.
forever.
Well, guys, I love it. I wish everybody could see it in person. I really do. If you guys ever do like stores or retail and stuff like that, let us know so we can get people to actually see it. I love it.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I love this stuff. I'm so glad you guys came. Anything you guys want to say before we get
No.
off?
Yeah, if you go to AmericanRegardless.com and use discount code OG10, you can get 10% off for the Ordinary
There you
Guys
go.
show.
Well, shit.
That's right. We
You
you should have used the code.
should have used your code.
You should have
man.
used our own code. That's right. I forgot we have that code. We have it in the YouTube listing, but yeah, OG10. I'm gonna cancel my order and reorder.
Like, can I get a mulligan
No
on that one?
refund.
Yeah, I need a mulligan.
I need a mulligan.
Guys, so you have to think about that. You're talking about how much are the tri-blend shirts?
These ones are 1944.
Okay, 1944 on the website. You're talking about what, 18 and change?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take $1.94 off.
Take $1.94 off of your
17 and some change.
17 and some change.
Yep.
Free shipping on every order.
And free
Free
shipping.
shipping.
No
Free
minimum. You
shipping.
guys
No
need to make.
minimum.
Okay.
No minimum.
Listen, guys, if you're ordering and you order one T-shirt, I'm gonna be very pissed off at you. There's a 2-shirt minimum if you're gonna order from them for free shipping. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
We
If
also
I-
have some really great decals. We just
I do like the decals.
we just put our "We the People Shall Not Be Infringed" decals. We're gonna get those up.
Oh man, I need to see that.
Yeah.
So who does the decals?
We do.
But your dad does the embroidery.
And all the
Yes.
embroidery, all the hats, and any other embroidery that we have done, and then we do the decals and the shirts.
That's awesome. I'm stoked. I love it, man. You guys are awesome, and you guys always give us cool stuff. Kevin
They
is.
just like us for the free shit.
Yeah.
gotta-
No, I love it. I love it. I've bought stuff from you guys for a listener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did. Yeah.
That's
Ship
right.
direct. It's funny because every time I go to your website, it thinks I'm that person.
Right.
'Cause
Yeah.
I
It
saved-
I
does.
remember that.
Yep.
I saved my
It was Bob, wasn't
It
it?
was Bob.
Yeah.
Bob's a good fan of the show.
Remember
I love Bob.
All right, Kevin, why don't you sign us off since you look like a retard?
that. The Unabomber.
I'm just ready for this
You do.
virus.
You do like the
Listen.
Unabomber.
If you don't order at least 2 to 7
2 to 7.
14 shirts,
2 to 7, 14.
you're gonna get the virus. That's just it's what it is.
Not from we're not gonna send it to you though.
Yeah.
If you order
But
less
I
than
will if you don't order.
There you go.
if you order less than 14 shirts, it goes through us, where we're gonna infect it with corona
we
and
work
then
for
send
an
it to
Italian
you.
company, so just know.
No shit. They're on
We're gonna
lockdown.
lick
Are
every
they?
Oh
box.
yeah, it's bad.
The company
It is
that we work
bad.
for, they're locked in their houses.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's crazy.
well, you guys,
Tragedies.
a happy Corona, Cinco de Mayo. Have fun.
I look like that video game, Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. I was like, what does that look like?
Yep.
Hayden plays that game all the time. He sent me a